In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. This sports program begins right now.
Football!
It is magical, and we have the incredible opportunity to talk about it every single day. What a dream life we have. As meaningful football is happening all around us. The college football playoff starts in just 2 days. And don't look now, week 16 of the NFL season starts tomorrow. Let's go to the Talks Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Con man, it is something historic happening with this NFL season where we don't know shit about anything at this stage.
Yeah, 0 division winners for the first time going into week 16 since 2016. It is electric.
Wow, a lot of question marks all over the place, including that NFC North, Ty Schmidt, especially with the injuries that are taking place all around the league.
Yeah, absolutely. But, hey, we said it. Everything's still out ahead of the Packers. Everything's still out in front of the Bears as well. So what a nice little showdown on a Saturday night.
And then tomorrow night, Week 16 of the NFL season kicks off in the NFC West, which might be the NFL's best. It might be the NFC Beast as the Rams and Seahawks try to find out who's going to win that division. Now, the other team will be in the playoffs, certainly, because of what the work has already been done. And we're kind of staring down a Vikings-Lions situation here, although Vikings-Lions last season was the last weekend of the year where they were trying to decide which was the 1 seed and who was going to be the 5 seed. But in this particular case, it's who's going to win the NFC West, which we all think is going to produce potentially the Super Bowl champion, at least the NFC representative. Let's go to 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Rams, Seahawks, so much on the line. Congrats to Amazon Prime is how we're viewing this one, and congrats to us as football fans.
They got a banger. Yeah, we got a banger. We got bangers all weekend long with the primetime games. This should be a big one. 2 of the best teams in the National Football League. Some superstars out there. I'm seeing Puka do some other things right now. Not concerned yet on the field, but he's a dynamic receiver. He's going to have a huge game without Devontae out there.
He's going to have to continue to have huge games if he's going to continue to do the things he's doing off the field, which we will certainly tell Oos, like, hey, the louder you get, the better you got to be. And that's just a part of the game. Everybody needs to know it. If you're going to start doing a lot of extracurriculars outside of football, which is certainly going to be very prevalent to Puka in L.A. With his personality, with who he is, with how good he is at football, with his generation, with his age, with his friends, he's going to have a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things off the field. We would like him to take advantage of all of those things for the good of him, for the good of his family, for the good of his future. But also, if on the field remains great, it's okay. If on the field slips at all, they will be holding all of this against Puka, and that's just what life is like as a superstar, let alone in the city of stars where they can win a Super Bowl this year yet again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They got an MVP favorite pretty much, front runner with Matt Stafford slinging it. Great defense. Obviously, we expect Devontae to be healthy playoff time. But, yeah, they got everything in front of them, and Puka has shown us that ball comes first. He'll keep the main thing, so I got faith in him.
This will be the first ever Thursday night game with 2 teams with 11-plus wins. Now, obviously, the Thursday night package doesn't carry all the way through the entire season, so getting to 11 wins takes a long time to get there. So 2 11-win teams, 2 superstar teams, 2 potential Super Bowl teams kicking off Week 16. And then guess what? It's not just Thursday that we got NFL football. It's also Saturday, we got a doubleheader. Philadelphia and Washington at 5 p.m. on Fox. This Philadelphia Eagles team on Hard Knocks looks like they're having a great time.
Yeah, they do.
It is crazy, the conversation around the Philadelphia Eagles team with what's happening behind the scenes. They just beat the brakes off of the Raiders this past weekend, 31-0. Coop was smiling. Kenny Pickett was crying. The Raiders are going to have to start over yet again next season. And the Philadelphia Eagles said, speaking of starting over, this whole season could just start each week, and we could run this thing all the way through the Lombardi. They have all the talent. They have all the ability. Do they have the team and the camaraderie? We shall see on Saturday as they take on the Commanders, who sat Jaden Daniels. Marcus Mariota will continue it as they have lost their playoff hopes. And then the Green Bay Packers take on the Chicago Bears in an NFC North battle for who's going to be the number 1 seed, the number 1 team in the NFC North. Ty Schmidt, Saturday football for you being meaningful for the first time in a long time as an Iowa Hawkeye fan. Good for you, pal.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but I mean, Iowa went to the Big Ten championship just a couple years ago, so we've had a lot of meaningful Saturdays. Thank you. But no, this is awesome. This is awesome. I'm very surprised that the Packers are still a favorite in this game. And then the best part really is I'm not saying we are going to get 2 blowouts in the college football playoff with, 2 of those group of 5 teams playing in the exact same time slots as these NFL games. But we have viewing options now. Hey, if one of these turns to shite, you flip over to the NFL game, or if it's the NFL game, you flip over to the college football game. So that's going to be awesome.
College football game, I believe, will be on the Ocho and on the Super Duper W.
Yep.
I think is where you will find those 2 games. Obviously, we cannot wait for that. Friday night, Alabama, Oklahoma kicks off the college football playoff. Then at noon on ABC, Miami takes on Texas A&M. Then once again, 5 o'clock, you have an NFL option with the Philadelphia Eagles playing, or you can watch at 3:30 on True TV. Tulane will take on Ole Miss. Miss. And then at 7:30 on TNT and True TV, JMU will take on Oregon.
That's a good one.
Oregon needs to watch it.
They do.
Especially, we don't know what Oregon's like on True TV.
No, that's a good point.
We've seen Lizard Lick Towing on True TV.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen multiple other shows on True TV that are high performance.
Cops.
Elite performance. Cops is on True TV. I believe Live TV potentially was, or Live PD was potentially on there at one point. We don't know what this Oregon team looks like on True TV. And I don't think they do either. JMU team, 12 wins.
Yeah.
They know how to win ball games.
Exactly.
A lot of them.
Don't be sleepwalking through this, Ducks. Don't be ducking around, Ducks, unless you want this JMU team to be the Cinderella story. Joel Klatt said, I'm sick of it all. Okay, the NCAA March basketball tournament, March Madness, should be called March Stupidity. He said there's never any Cinderellas. The small schools that we want to win never go on to win. Joel Klatt took an entire take, not just on college football, letting smaller schools into the tournament, but also turned his sights to basketball. I think that was a miscalculation because how much we all enjoy March Madness and how many smaller schools do go on a run. But what Joel Klatt was saying was echoing the sentiments of a lot of people about how in football, it's not the same as in basketball. You know, there is like size differences and weight differences in every single physical combat sport that there is. Fighting, wrestling, boxing, there's weight differences because of things. In football, is there a chance that this could be a weight class disadvantage for JMU versus Oregon, who has a top 4 paid roster? Okay, their D-line across the front, all multimillionaires. The backups for the front 4 on D-line, all multimillionaires. JMU got a tough group. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man whose arms couldn't touch each other whenever he was coming out. His hands could not touch each other whenever he was coming out of college. Penn State is a Remington Award winner. His belly got in the way. This man's arms were too short to be in the NFL. What did he go on to do? Well, he played 12 years in the NFL, won a Super Bowl, was a player coach as well, like he's Jackie Moon. Ladies and gentlemen, AQ Shipley.
AQ.
AQ, when we talk about these games on True TV on Saturday, when we talk about Tulane and we talk about JMU and we talk about Ole Miss and Oregon, and Ole Miss, obviously, we have no idea what they're going to look like either. We have no clue what Ole Miss is going to look like. Tulane has a couple games against big schools, including Ole Miss and UTSA. They've lost by 20-plus each time. JMU, we have no idea because they haven't really played anybody that would be considered a playoff-worthy squad, okay? So we don't know what's going to happen. Maybe JMU shows up. But the biggest difference is in the trenches, right? That's kind of where these types of games kind of get handled, which is the difference between football and basketball whenever you're talking about Cinderella stories in smaller schools maybe going on a run.
It's trenches, and I also think it's depth. I think that was the biggest thing. Whenever we used to play MAC schools, which again, that's still Division I, it's not quite the level of JMU and Tulane, obviously, but maybe they are. But I just think depth. I think whenever you lose a guy and now you're on to your second guy, that second guy's also a 4-star at the big schools. Now that second guy's maybe a little bit undersized.
Let's talk about what stars are normally for. Stars are normally projections of height, weight, athleticism, let alone film. I mean, film has to happen, but the reason why guys are 4 or 5 stars is because they have the dims. So whenever you talk about these big schools that are spending all this big money and get all the 5 stars, 4 stars, they're getting the dims. The opportunity, the potential is obviously all there, but it's the size that will be the biggest difference. Like even our West Virginia team. I would say our West Virginia team, whenever I was lucky enough to be there and ride the coattails of a lot of great players, getting off the bus, our size was clear about, hey, who is a team that is, SEC school or something like that. Now, granted, we were able to beat them with speed and with tenacity and with fight and everything like that. And maybe there's a chance that JMU has the same type of build or Tulane has the same type of build now than they did in the regular season whenever they had to face these types of teams. But it feels like in the modern era that we're in, the schools with the money, Oregon's certainly one of them. They're not the only one, but they are certainly one of them. And they should not be judged because they have money. They should be celebrated that they have money. That's a good thing for them. We all wish we had Uncle Phil Knight as alumni for our schools. But they got dudes, every big position. They could potentially just bully this JMU team right off the field, right? Is that not something that very much worries everybody as we look ahead to these types of games?
They could, but this is where I'm going to go on my little high horse right now and that this is where Iowa, why I think what Kirk Ferentz does at Iowa is one of the best coaching jobs every single year, because he takes the guys that might be 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", that maybe an Oregon or an Ole Miss or an SEC or another Big Ten school might not look at because they're not 6'5" and 300 pounds. But guess what? At the end of the day, what matters is what? Are you a football player? It's what you put on tape. Yeah. And you can be 6'5". I played with multiple 6'5s, look like Tarzan, play like James.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
A million of those players. And that's what I think 4 and 5 stars are. It's projections, it's potential. But when you look at the NFL, those first-round picks also, there's a lot of busts.
Yep.
And potential get you fired also.
Yeah, potential will get you fired, but these teams have made the playoffs. I think it's been proven that they're a good football team, and the people are good, so maybe it is a little different than at the beginning of the year. But because my team that I got very lucky to be a part of, the West Virginia squad, representing the Big East, a lot of guys that got their scholarships pulled or didn't get pulled anywhere else, kind of a last chance type situation for our team. We beat Georgia. We beat Oklahoma. We beat these teams. So literally, I was there witnessing it, so I will hold out hope. But in the current stage of football that we're in right now, it does feel like there are some...
For sure.
There are some differences getting off the bus.
Gotta play the game.
Gotta play the game.
Hey,
gotta play every snap. Gotta strategize.
Number one team in the country, too. If you look at Indiana's roster and their stars compared to the rest of the top five, they're not on par with Ohio State.
No, this year they are. Last year they were not.
Ohio State?
Well, Ohio State's a different animal.
League of their own.
The defense for Indiana this year, size is the biggest difference, is they are bigger.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, as
faster.
far as, like, the guys coming out of high school, like, Ohio State's made up of mostly 4 and 5 stars. You look at Indiana, there's some 3 stars, some 2 stars. There's some guys that transfer from other smaller schools. Like, those are different. So coaching matters, obviously scheme matters, but obviously these, three touchdown spread for a reason.
Yeah.
But you got to play them.
And a lot of people aren't necessarily thrilled that is even taking up a spot in the college football playoff. Joel Klatt is a voice that we respect in college ball. We appreciate his contributions to college ball. But I think no matter what network you're in right now, everybody's kind of saying Notre Dame's not in, okay?
It's not the 12 best teams.
So it's hard. It's hard to buy in. But I would like to hold on hope, though, that there is good story and you win your conference championship and you get in there. The ACC being ass was really that's the big reason why it's on. So whenever you want to start pointing blame at whoever you're pointing blame, it's not Tulane. It's not JMU's fault. JMU didn't get an opportunity to really play anybody either, so they might be way better than anybody could be projecting, and they might surprise this Ducks team, which we would certainly be pumped up about because chaos is a good thing for sports. Chaos is good, but if they get blown out and Tulane gets blown out, boy, it's going to get real loud this offseason on the setup of it all.
Yeah, and I saw Joe Klatt when he was at Colorado. They were 7-5. They played a bowl game against Texas, who was 10-2, and they lost 70-3. So I think that's why he has that take about the Cinderellas. But that's the whole thing about the Stars. The Stars, sure, it does matter with the big schools and the small schools. But if you're one of the best players at the small school, you're only going to be there for 2 years. So I look at Trinidad Chambliss. He didn't even go to a Division I school, but then he gets pulled because he's unbelievable, and now he's in the college football playoff. Like, that's the problem with the small schools. The small schools can't hang on to their coaches, and they can't hang on to their players. And it'll be like that forever with the NIL, which is a good thing because the best teams will be better, but it's a bad thing when we don't put the best teams in the college football playoff. It feels like that will change, but that's the whole thing about the whole star shit. Like, if the stars are accurate, then every single year, that top 100 list that ESPN does for high schools, that would reflect 4 years later or 3 years later in the draft process. But that's exactly why stars are just projections, and that is also why those schools that hold on to those dudes are almost more impressive, like Iowa.
Yeah, and obviously this conversation has gone into a way of you guys attacking like the Stars angle, which I was saying. If this was the beginning of the season, we hadn't seen Oregon already play, and the Stars were Tarzan Jane thing. So we're talking about the end of the season already, and they're in the playoffs. So I'm saying 4 or 5 stars because...
No, but the whole argument was the fact that JMU doesn't have those guys, and they're still a good football team.
Against who is the question? That's my question. Is there still a good football team against who?
Yeah, nobody. Shot to shine now.
They do have the shot to shine. They're
right.
Jake Paul going into Anthony Joshua.
Boom.
Good luck. Good luck. And we learned a lot about Jake Paul.
He's winning. First
we had
round
no
knockout.
idea he had the Hulkster rolling through his entire body.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we know that?
No, I saw that and I said, okay, well, why am I even going to watch this?
Jake Paul
It's over.
did a gator hunt, killed a 12-foot gator, okay, out in a swamp. He's turning the gate. He found him. He saw him. Look, there he is. That son of a bitch. He's hiring 12-foot gator. And then getting up close to him. Let's go ahead and shoot that thing right in between the eyes. This gator thinks he's tough. It's not. I'm tougher than him. Takes the gator, turns it into shorts. Then he starts decorating it. And boom, he's summoning the spirit of Hulkster going in against Anthony Joshua, obviously a man who speaks with a British accent. I am a real American. Is what Jake Paul's saying. Is that going to be enough to power him over this big-time upset against Anthony Joshua on Friday night?
I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm thinking, yeah. Like, I went from thinking, hey, I hope Jake Paul can survive. I hope he doesn't get killed by this guy who we've seen fight before, who is a mountain of a human being, a big-time heavyweight. And then I saw this stuff, and I said, Jake Paul's going to knock him out in the first round. Never mind going to a decision. Never mind maybe knocking him down. He's going to kill him.
Yeah, there's a chance. So we got Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul Friday night. We got Tulane, Ole Miss. We got JMU, Oregon.
Joshua won.
What's that?
Anthony Joshua won.
Yeah, I saw Joshua say he's going to take his soul and break his spirit, and it was a pretty enlightened answer. I'm worried about Jake.
Yeah, with an English accent. And I think Jake was worried, too, as he was saying it. They were zooming in on Jake's face, and I think Jake was doing, wow, that's pretty deep. This guy's seen it. He's thought about this before. All right, so a lot of David versus Goliath type situations this weekend. Going into the holiday season, let's go ahead and enjoy it all. We appreciate sports for always delivering for us. But if Tulane and JMU get murdered, it is going to be very, very, very loud. But if they get a win, that's the specialness of sports. Maybe they go on a magical run, a Cinderella-like run that nobody thinks is possible in a physical sport as opposed to just a bucket-getting sport. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who's a senior NFL insider for ESPN, a guy who's on top of every single story, including the one down in Miami with the turning of a tide. Joining us now, Michigan man, Adam Schefter.
Hey.
Schefter, we appreciate you joining us as you are going to speak at your high school as a distinguished honor alumni and let them know that the future is bright if you're willing to have 4 phones and be on them at all times. Now, Schefter, let's talk about what happened in Miami. Tua Tagovailoa no longer the starter. Quinn Ewers is the new starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. What does this mean? This is a dawning of a new day, whole new era. Tua chapter closed in Miami. Is that how we should read this?
Yeah, I think it's time to start playing the numbers game, and we've seen this play out before in Denver with Russell Wilson, in New York with Aaron Rodgers. When we talk about the teams with the largest cap hits that absorb the contracts of quarterbacks that they once thought were going to be their future, I think you have to turn to Denver and the Jets for instructive ways as to how they handled it. The Denver Broncos this season still have $32 million in dead cap money against their cap for moving on from Russell Wilson. It was initially over $50 million last year against their cap. It's $32 million this year against their cap, and they still have the best record in the AFC currently. The Jets moved on with a $49 million cap charge from Aaron Rodgers. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have a $99 million cap charge if they decide to move on from him. That would be the single largest cap charge in NFL history, and they certainly could spread it out. There are a couple of ways to look at this. They could release him after June 1st. They could see if they wind up trading him in much the way that the Houston Texans once traded Brock Osweiler along with a draft pick to the Cleveland Browns. I remember the day that story happened, and Bill Polian was on the desk there at ESPN, and he's like, that can't be. Nobody ever trades a player and a pick to take on the contract. But these are different times with some larger contracts, and this certainly would be in that category. But clearly Miami is going to be moving forward without Tua, one way or another. You don't make the decision to bench him and go with a rookie quarterback in Quinn Ewers without the idea that you're essentially separating right now. It's just a question of how the relationship officially dissolves and how they move on from him. But this was the first step in that happening. They have begun the process of moving on from him.
Okay,
now.
sounds good. Now, tell us where it went wrong, because a couple years ago, they put up 70 on the Denver Broncos. They were the talk of the town for offenses. Tua was all in. He gets a new deal. He immediately goes right to the group of people that can't afford regular tickets, so they go to training camp. Maybe some local sick kids coming to training camp and start screaming in their faces, "Show me the money." Was this the moment where it all went south? Like when? Obviously, he had a couple concussions, which we were all very worried for him. Something went bad, though, because he got worse at football. Like, none of us really understand how did it happen, you think? Where did it go wrong?
It's hard to pinpoint. I think the concussions and the injuries began to play a part in this. I think he's played through some other injuries here, but I don't know that he's been fully healthy, and I don't know all the injuries that he's been through in the past have taken a toll. Look, when Mike McDaniel got hired, he came in there and resurrected the career of Tua Tagovailoa, so much so that they signed him to this contract that now is going to become a major sticking point with this organization. Somewhere along the way, he didn't get better the way that some people do. And if anything, he seemed to regress.
Yes.
And now they're at the point where they've decided to bench him for Quinn Ewers. I can't give you a specific moment when it went south, but I think part of it is the injuries taking their toll. part of it is him not improving and regressing, if anything? I don't have that specific answer. I wish I did, Pat.
All right, we appreciate the hell out of you. Tell those kids at that high school we said what's up and that they should be proud of their alumni. You and the director of Monday Night Football, is that right?
Yeah, Artie Kempner, who's the director of Monday Night Football. We went to the same high school here on Long Island. I'm literally, I will say this is a bit surreal, driving up the street that I used to go up every single day as a youth, and I haven't been here in a very long time, and about to pull up to my high school, which I haven't been to in a very long time. And we're going to go speak to all the kids here for Alumni Day.
Hey, go see those lockers you used to get stuffed in, Schefter. We appreciate you, man. You're the best, ladies and gentlemen. You done good, dude. You done good. Ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Okay, let's go to you, D. Butch. Obviously, South Florida guy, Dolphins fan throughout your childhood and will be for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
We talked about Tua and the moving on of him. 6-year quarterback. This isn't like first year, second year, third year.
Yeah.
This is a 6-year quarterback. And what we saw in primetime obviously wasn't fantastic. We showed a couple of the lowlights there. Him taking sacks when a third-year quarterback, second-year quarterback you would hope would not take sacks. Him knowing what a defensive coverage was, what their offense was, and just throwing a pick directly to a guy. He should know that that guy's going to drop into that particular coverage because there's nobody to threaten him in the flat. We've talked about this all, like amateur-like mistakes out of a quarterback in his 6th year who's already been paid. Now, concussions aside, because there is a chance that affects everything. Okay, obviously that's your brain, and a big part of being quarterback is thinking and critical analysis and decision-making and all that stuff. So we can, I guess, assume that potentially had an effect on it. But
for sure, yeah.
After they lose primetime game, he was the last one on the field. I mean, he was the last person on the field, like, celebrating. I saw him. There's a video of him and Jalen Ramsey talking. They're like the final two people almost in the entire stadium having a good time, catching up old teammates. I like that these teammates like each other. But a quarterback for a team in primetime that just got kicked out of the playoffs, they were potentially going to go to the playoffs, being the last one off the field, it's like, that's not what you want your quarterback to look like. What he was doing on the field, that's not what you want your NFL quarterback to look like. So what happened from year 3, 4 to year 6? Like, is that on coaching? Is that on Tua? Is that on the building? Like, how do we kind of judge this fall from grace that Tua Tagovailoa has? Because it felt like he was on an actual fast track to maybe a good legacy whenever McDaniel got there. And then now here we're like, well, he's gone. It's over in Miami. It's a wild thing.
This post-game stuff is kind of the icing on the cake. And like you said, you mentioned players catch up all the time. You saw Rasul Douglas and A-Rod catch up real quick after the game. And that happens. I don't expect him to go into a deep, dark hole after every loss. But as a quarterback, as the face of the franchise, after a loss like that have ended your playoff hopes, you can't be on the field like this chumming it up. We've seen former, I want to say Burrow and Allen maybe a couple of weeks ago, like just in the tunnel, catching up. That's kind of how you do it, kind of away from the cameras. But on the field, we're not that far removed from him being a very good player. Like, he was the passing rating leader in 2022. 2023 led the league in yards. And then 2024, just last year, he led the league in completion percentage. But when you're watching the games and you're watching him play, it's like he's doing amateur stuff in moments where you can't put your team in that position. Mike McDaniel, he did a great job resurrecting his career. And then this team, this was a team that we all wrote off. We were all talking about Mike McDaniel being fired at midseason, him being on the hot seat. And then you saw this whole team collectively, even after trading some of their best pieces, fight. And then for him to go down like this is ugly, it's tough. But Tua still got 54 guaranteed next year, so they got to figure that part out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It looks like he doesn't really, like, the after the game thing, it was like, does this guy even care?
Yeah.
Does this guy even care? And then, obviously, we've talked about...
You never want that question for your quarterback.
For your franchise quarterback who's getting paid, like, does this guy even care? And the team, like, when he walks in the locker room, there has to be some people in that locker room that care. Somebody cares about the Miami Dolphins in that locker room.
I would say a lot of people, based on how they've played this last, month or so, their winning streak, and then even the games before that when they were competing, I would say a lot of those people care, the coaches and the players alike. So it's tough to keep. Well, it's not tough. You're a professional, so you got to show up and play, 17 games. But they competed their ass off week in and week out, and it wasn't just the play. Like, if we remember throughout the weeks, like, it seemed like every post-game when he was at the podium, he was saying some dumb shit or some wild shit or throwing somebody in the bus. So it's just been a wild ride.
Well, that's the problem. Like, he was throwing people under the bus, and they lost some players for sure. They traded Jalen Phillips, who's a Pro Bowler, Christian Wilkins. They didn't re-sign, which looking back, who knows? But they're Teron Armstead, starting left tackle. They paid $100+ million. Jalen Ramsey gets traded. Johnny Smith gets traded. Like, there were multiple different things. But when McDaniel flew over, I still remember McDaniel on the private plane FaceTiming Tua saying, hey, we're going to build this thing around you. Like, this is your team. He watched the 500 hours of Tua throwing the ball. Like, he was handed the keys. Now, the whole entire money thing, that's another, aspect of this. Ownership's on board. They're also done with all his shit because they're giving him all that money. But it's year 6. Like, look at the other quarterbacks in his draft class and what they're doing. Between Burrow, who, boohoo Burrow, what are you going to do? Hopefully he figures that out. But Herbert in the Chargers, they figured it out once they got the right coach in there. And then Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls and he's won a Super Bowl. And you look at how Jalen Hurts talks on the podium and acts after losses. You look at how Burrow handles it. You look at Justin Herbert, who handles it maybe too much aggressively. Maybe he needs to calm down, take a page out of Tua's book instead, and Tua take a page out of his book. But it is a bummer, but it's done in Miami. Like, maybe he gets a chance. You guys think a team is risking it on him?
Yeah, that's kind of the interesting point. AQ Shipley, we know in this league, there's an opportunity for anybody, basically, and a lot of buildings think it happened like that there. It won't happen like that here. We've seen Tua have success. I referenced it earlier. They hung 70 on Denver. They were the talk of the NFL, changing what offenses are. That's why they go and pay Tyreek Hill, because of how impressive they wanted that offense to be, how incredible they wanted that offense to be. It was almost the greatest show on turf again. That is what the Miami Dolphins were just a few years ago. Did defenses catch up and they weren't able to adjust? Is it on scheme? Is it on strategy? And do you think another team will take a shot on Tua? Tua would be agreeing that he's a backup. This would be like a Russell Wilson type situation where he gets $1 million. Or do you think there's a team that'll go in on Tua being their starter somewhere, AQ?
Somebody will definitely take a chance on him. I think I'll start with that. And I think when you look at what he's done, he's obviously taken that team to the postseason twice. He's been very good, completion percentage, quarterback rating, all that stuff. But I always lean back on the trenches. And Connor kind of alluded to it already with Terron Armstead, but they also lost Robert Hunt. Robert Hunt was one of the best guards in football, and there's a reason he got paid when he went to Carolina, got paid a boatload of money. And when you lose him and you lose Terron Armstead, and all of a sudden you don't have the same protection up front. You can't run the ball quite like you used to. You can't have the protection and get him down the field because that entire offense is timing throws. I think that's kind of where it went wrong, but he will definitely get another chance. He's a first-round pick, a top-5 pick. They always get a million chances.
Well, he want one. I mean, that's kind of, honestly, this looks like a dude, that after the game thing, and then like some of those decisions and then how the season's gone, and like, I guess I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. I didn't mean to put anybody in a position. It's like, does this guy love ball still? And you could see why he maybe wouldn't. You listed all the players that he that got traded away. All their good players kind of left the team before their season started. Good players, I'm sorry, they got a lot of good players. All their star players were either traded out of town or moved along from this Miami Dolphins. They bring Minkah Fitzpatrick back. But it was like, this team's a seller before the season even starts. Like, what is their expectation? And then they get through it, and then they're lurking, and they're lurking, and they're lurking. And it's like, it wasn't because of Tua why they were lurking. The offense had changed completely into a run-first type thing. And then after the loss and being kicked out of the playoffs, with how he hands it after, does this guy love ball still? And would that be the first question, I guess, any building would be asking him? And if he was offered a backup role somewhere, is that something that Tua would want to be? Or he's getting $54 million. Hey, I'll do whatever. I'll basically do whatever.
Yeah. It's a good situation to reflect and figure it out. You're still getting 54 coming your way. I think up until this point, I don't think anybody would argue that he loves football. We saw him, looking like he was damn near dead on the football field. And then come back. A lot of people were talking, saying, hey, he shouldn't come back. Go enjoy your family. When you are benched or you suffer a major injury and you have he's been in face of a franchise. When you have that taken away from you, I'm sure he'll love and appreciate it even more. But like AQ said, I'm on the same page. He'll definitely get an opportunity. Everything that I've seen, I think he still loves the game of football. And if we look around the league every year, we always talk about the quarterback development issue in the NFL, how there just aren't enough good quarterbacks in the NFL. So there will be another team that will take a shot. His skill set is limited when you're talking about quarterbacks that are making the money that he's making. I don't think he'll see another contract like this. I hope I'm wrong. But, he doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the size, the mobility, and those things that we talk about top-tier elite quarterbacks. But I think he will have the opportunity.
Him with Kevin O'Connell.
I don't want
for
that
a $1 million contract, just like Russell Wilson. Tua Tagovailoa. Now, Nine's coming into his own. We know what Nine's coming into his own. But Tua Tagovailoa in an offensive system where he doesn't, you just drop back, and this is where you got to put the ball. That was very much what he was with McDaniel. So maybe the offense, too, McDaniel, the way he was drawing it up, wasn't the same going forward, where guys weren't as wide-ass open or as much timing routes because defense caught up to the offenses. Joining us now is a man who might be able to tell us a little bit more, actually. This dude played 8 years in the NFL, okay? 7-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler.
That good.
Hall of Fame nom already, okay? Gonna go into the Hall of Fame. 8 years he played. He's the type of human who, walks around. He's the smartest human in any room in our real world, okay? He would be one of the representatives that the NFL would put up for if there was a smart human contest, and we had to be represented.
Yep.
This dude would be one of the first ones that we send out there. Then he puts on his pads, okay? Flips the switch. Complete lunatic, psycho, maniac, one of the greatest of all time. And the smarts that he has, he was able to do it in ball too. He knew what everybody was going to do all the time, which leads to an alt cast called Monday Night Football Playbook with Next Gen Stats, December 22nd, an NFL data cast aimed at avid fans, which will complement Monday Night Football and ESPN NFL postseason slate. So much like we got to see kind of a trailer or teaser or what it would be. So just like on Thursday night, how they have the analytics cast where they have circles and percentages and all that stuff, ESPN is going to provide that. Shout out to Adrenaline, which Sean Lee, former Dallas Cowboys linebacker and Penn State linebacker, also Western Pennsylvania soccer star growing up from Upper St. Clair in Pittsburgh. He's one of the owners of a company called Adrenaline, which has an AI model that backs with football players, with analytics, with stats and everything to be a good predictionary type situation. So they're going to team up Sean Lee, Luke Kuechly, analytics, and Monday Night Football. Oh, yeah, and Dan Orlovsky's.
Boom. Sign me up.
I think it's going to be good. Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be good, Luke. This seems in theory, and I know you big brain people operate in theory a lot, but in theory, this seems to be an incredible thing. I saw you got to do a little bit of a test run. I know you call games for Carolina on a rotational basis. How excited are you for this, and what do you think people are going to learn from watching alongside you, Dano, and Field Yates, Luke?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool opportunity. I think it shows you a lot about, what guys are thinking when DK Metcalf lines up at number 3, the 3-position wide receiver. He's lined up on a linebacker. His percentage of catch is going to go way up because the matchup on the linebacker is better. And then we can just give reasons why. Why does DK Metcalf line up there? Why does Jonnu Smith line up out wide at the number 1 position rather than in a traditional tight end location? We're going to try to explain a lot of the why. The next couple weeks will be five games that we'll do, but the reason is why. Why do they line up in this formation? Why do they line up in this defensive set? Why this personnel group? I think a lot is made out of the 13 personnel stuff this year, and a lot of guys have talked about why they line up in base versus nickel. I think it's going to be a really unique opportunity for us to explain why coaches do certain things and why certain players line up in particular positions.
I'm going to watch it, steal your shit, act like it's my own. I appreciate you. That should be an absolute blast. I think that is what the goal would be for every football fan and football consumer, to get smarter about the game that we all love. And hearing from you will certainly be a beautiful piece of it. Let's talk about the game that you did there with the Dolphins and Tua. We just asked, and obviously your opinion is certainly warranted in this particular conversation. Tua put up 70 points against the Denver Broncos with that McDaniel offense whenever he goes down there. They were using late motions, late shifts. They were doing a lot of that stuff, kind of innovated, changed the game. Do you think defensive coordinators caught up to them? Do you think Tua just wasn't as sharp as he used to be? Why do you think we saw a regression in performance, clearly, by McDaniel and Tua down there in Miami? And him getting benched, obviously, is the end of an era of Tua in Miami. What do you think the future potentially looks like for him, Luke? So I think you start with how and why we got to this point in Miami, and then what do you think the future looks like for Tua, Luke?
Well, I think it was certainly the production wasn't there. Obviously, the Tyreek injury hurt them. Robert Hunt coming to Carolina, I know you guys already referenced that. Same thing with Armstead. The pieces that they've had in the past aren't there how they used to be. Now they kind of rely on Jalen Waddle. A-Chain's obviously a really good running back, but I think a little bit is people have caught up to the motions a little bit. All the pre-snap shifts, all the pre-snap motions, that was all very new in the way they did it. But as people see more of it and the communication on the defensive side of the ball catches up, it becomes a little bit easier. But I think you guys kind of nailed it a little bit. You watched Tua after the game. It's like, man, like how much how serious is he's on there, talking with Jalen Ramsey. It's like, man, just get in the locker room, be with the guys. If you need to talk to Jalen, you can do it behind the scenes. But like you said, it's the end of an era. They had a great run there. But like you said, all first-round picks are going to get another opportunity. He's produced at a high level in the past, and there's nothing to say that he can't do it again.
Yeah, it's what was it about him that made him a great player? His accuracy, his anticipation whenever they were humming? What do you think it was? And for you, as a guy that was on the defensive side, what are the most important things a quarterback to have that's most lethal against a defense?
Well, I think he knew where the ball needed to go very quickly, and his accuracy was there. And I think as people kind of cut up to it and they lost some of the vertical presence from Tyreek, when you have those two guys that can burn, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, it puts a lot of stress on defense. But now when you only have one vertical threat to worry about, the game changes a little bit. But I think what allowed him to be successful is he understood that offense. He knew where the ball needed to go. He played with great accuracy, anticipation, and just hasn't quite been the same this year.
Okay, let's move away from just Tua in Miami, even though it's huge news. I mean, he was the number 5 overall pick to the Miami Dolphins, obviously coming out of Alabama, a lot of success. Mike McDaniel got hired there to make Tua great just a couple years ago. They're going to take on the biggest dead cap in the history of the NFL if they decide to cut Tua, which we all assume will happen. Good luck to him in the future. We can't wait to see what's next for all parties there. Speaking of the future, Carolina Panthers aren't ass. Hey. That's good news, right, Luke? Don't we think that's good news that they're not ass? Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is the case? It feels like the vibes around the whole team vastly different than it was just 2 years ago. Is it as easy as bringing in Morgan and Canales? What do you think you felt down there with this Panthers team?
Well, I think they've been very, very particular in how they've built the team, right? So Bryce's rookie year, he got sacked like 53 times. So, all right, what are we going to do? We got to address the offensive line. We bring in Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt in free agency. We have Austin Corbett, and then we have 2 guys we drafted at both tackles. So in one offseason, they fixed the offensive line. Last year, we played really well up front. We've had some injuries. And then last year, the issue was we're not very good on defense. We struggle up front. We don't have a ton of depth. So what do? Derek Brown comes back, obviously, from injury. They bring in Tershawn Wharton. They bring in Bobby Brown. They draft some guys in the perimeter, Nick Scorton and Princely, Uman who's a Ole Miss guy. So we have a combination of free agency and then draft picks. And I think the one guy that's helped us a ton has been Trayvon Merrick. We brought him over from the Raiders. He's able to do a little bit of everything. He can line up as a safety. He can line up at the nickel position. He can line up at will linebacker. He gives us a ton of versatility on the defensive side of the ball. So I think Dan and Dave have done a really good job of saying, hey, we need to control up front. So first offseason, we go draft offensive line, bring offensive linemen in free agency. Year 2, we take care of the defense. And then year 3, I think, is where they are really expecting to kind of take off.
Do you know the rest of the 53-man roster? And I'd like to hear everything about them, please. Could you?
Hey, we've got good young players everywhere. And a lot of it is just you got to grow with these young guys, right? On the offense side of the ball at the skill position, we've got JT Sanders, 2nd-year tight end. Jalen Coker's our slot guy we brought in. He's an undrafted free agent, but great size and catch radius. Year 2, Leggett, year 2. Our first-round pick, T-Mac, great player, year 1. So it's a lot of that at that skill position. It's just young guys, and you got to play with young guys when you have them. And sometimes they're great. Sometimes you have those young mistakes. But as overall, our young guys at skill position are great dudes. They play really hard, and they're going to continue to learn.
Man, they cook your ass. It'd be a milk check every single time with this guy right here. That's who they're looking for out there, Luke. Canales seems to have a good brain down there for the offensive system with Bryce Young. Go ahead, D-Butt.
Yeah, Luke, it's a lot of great brains right now on offense around the league. McVay, Ben Johnson, Shanahan. In your opinion, what's like the toughest offense to face right now, and what makes like a great play caller in your opinion?
I think the ability to set plays up, right? So they're going to show you a look. They're going to have 2 or 3 run plays off that look, and they're going to have 2 or 3 pass plays off that look. And I think, there's the Shanahan, McVay, that pre-snap motion, that pre-snap shift, I think is really good. And just a good example of that is, McVay will line up, or Shanahan will line up Kittle on one side of the offensive line, and then line up Juszczyk on the other side of the offensive line. And those guys are kind of interchangeable. So there's really no run tell. There's no pass tell. They can check it at the line of scrimmage, and then they start shifting and motioning, and it goes from 2x2 to 3-by-1 pre-snap, and then on the snap, there's a guy coming back across the formation. So they're going to give you so many looks pre-snap. They're going to shift guys. They're going to move guys as the ball gets snapped, and all that does to the defense is it gets you moving sideways pre-snap. It gets your communication off. Maybe it messes with safety rotation, and then the ball gets snapped. Your feet aren't set. You're not where you need to be. Your eyes are in the wrong spot. So then that half second that it takes you to get to where you need to be, they've got angles on you in the run game. Kittle's run past you. They just do a great job of window dressing and showing you stuff, and then boom, snap the ball, and it's on you right now.
Okay, so let's continue this conversation about what you just basically alluded to there. You go from 2-by-2 to 3-by-1. Mm-hmm. So you close, boom, boom, boom. Then quarterbacks also apple to the second play into the third different formation that they were in. But you were a little bit different on the defensive side. Go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, Luke, I remember game planning for you when you were in Carolina, and it was always when you guys would go double A gap, we would always have to like dummy point just to try and get you off because you were so good at switching the blitzes, understanding the protection, and getting the right check up. How much power and how much freedom did you have when you were doing that, or was that more part of the call and part of the game plan?
A lot of it was just part of what we were trying to do, and I think Sean McDermott was our coordinator for a long time in Carolina. He did a really good job of saying, hey, what do you guys like doing? What do you feel comfortable with? And then he'd go into the game and say, hey, what are you guys seeing and hearing on the field? And then we were able to kind of switch stuff up during the game based on what we saw. Thomas Davis was really good at it too. So we had our set rules, and then inside of those rules, we had the ability to try to figure out, hey, if we're double mugged and the center comes to me, Thomas, you take over the blitz, right? Then it's, could be a one-on-one on the running back. Boom. If they turn to Thomas, then Luke, you go blitz and have a one-on-one at the running back. So we were just always trying to find ways within the defense, within the system, to find the best opportunity to create an advantage for us.
Was there anybody that you knew inside and out and you just couldn't give away that you knew them inside and out? Like, you almost know it too good. We don't want them to know that we know it too good. So is there a couple plays where maybe you like, oh, you got me on that one, like you kind of do there early in the game? Like, how did you play once you got a really good beat on somebody, which in our eyes, in the way you are talked about by literally everybody, is you had a good beat on everybody. But is there anybody that you had like locked in very early that you didn't want to give away, if that makes sense or not, almost play poker with?
Yeah, the most difficult group was always the Saints with Breeze and Sean Payton, because my whole time in Carolina, all 8 years, it was Drew Brees and Sean Payton. So they knew us, we knew them. Our system on defense, we had 3 coordinators. McDermott left, and then Steve Wilkes went to Arizona, and then we had Eric Washington my last year. Our system was very similar year in and year out. Their system was very similar year in and year out. So it was always within that game, you were always thinking, why are they showing me this look right now? What is this look meant to show me that, and then they're going to come back to it in the second half and run something off of it. So when we'd come to the sideline, we'd be like, all right, this is the formation, this is the look, this is the play that they ran. And then you kind of had to look at it from their perspective, an offensive perspective, and say, hey, what else can they do from this set that would give us issues? So that was kind of always the game within the game of, all right, this is what it looked like in the first quarter. This is what it's going to look like in the second quarter. From their perspective, where else can they attack us? And that's kind of what we looked at.
How about Peyton Manning told Ray Lewis that they had 12? It's like one of the, It's a legendary clip where he's like, you got 12, Ray. You got 12, Ray. You got 12. And you see Ray like, it's caused timeout, and they actually do have 12 or whatever, And Peyton and Ray obviously played against each other a lot. They have a lot of respect for each other, and I don't know why Peyton told him at that point, other than just maybe to shit talk Ray that he
alpha move.
Hey, I am in there. But for you, whenever it came to understanding what the other team was going to do, and was that film study? You talked about it being live in there, and is there anybody that you felt bad for? Was there anybody that after the game you were like, hey, you guys literally the most predictable team in the history of football? Like, you need to maybe work on some stuff in that entire thing. Did anybody ever ask you about that? Like, hey, what are our giveaways to you? Would you ever give that up? Like, can you go behind the scenes a little bit as being known as the Nostradamus of football and how offensive teams would treat relationship with you?
Yeah, I think I always felt like in Carolina, our coaches did a great job of preparation. Hey, these are top run formations. These are top sets. This is where they're trying to get to. And then we would always talk about within our defense what stresses us. Where are the natural stressors that we have in our defense? And played a lot of cover 3, single high defense. We brought some slot pressures. Where are the issues in that defense? So you'd always have that in the back of your mind. And then the film study to me was a huge advantage. You guys know how it is. You always look to find an advantage before the game starts. And for me, the film study was something that I really enjoyed. And if you could steal 3 or 4 plays during a game just based on what you've watched, I think it's super helpful. And then also, the more you watch in the game, in the NFL, the more you get a feel for how offenses are trying to attack teams. And that kind of carries over from, say, we're playing Shanahan one week, and then we go play, McVay, and they're the same kind of a defense. Where did Shanahan give us issues? Because McVay went and watched that tape, and he's going to have something that's similar to that. So I think we did a great job in the meeting rooms with the coaches. We took practice very seriously. We wanted to get things right. We had a bunch of older guys on our team that loved practice and loved doing things right. And then we transition it to the film room after practice, and you kind of put all 3 of those together and you roll it out for the game, and you feel pretty good about it.
December 22nd, Monday Night Football Playbook with Next Gen Stats. Luke Kuechly will be live in real time telling you exactly what every other team's going to do alongside an AI model. That was one of the founders is Sean Lee, former NFL linebacker. And he's going to make $1 bazillion off of this. I mean, if he's in the middle of an AI company that is now sponsoring a Monday Night Football Congrats, Sean.
Sean.
Hey, Sean, congratulations to you as well, Sean.
You gonna be calling out plays, Luke?
Yeah,
what's the Romo thing? Or
how is that going to go?
That's what's going to be exciting. I think a lot of it will be you
still got it, Luke? Do you still got it or no?
I guess we got to tune in next week and see what's going on. It'll be fun. I think I'm looking forward to most is I'll talk defensive perspective, and then Orlovsky will have his side, and I'm sure there's going to be some back and forth on, hey, this is what Dan sees. This is what I see. Hey, it's 3rd and 7, in the minus side of the field. What's the defensive perspective here? Everyone talks about, Pat, you know about this.
Yeah.
On the plus side of the field, are we trying to bump a team out of field goal range? What's the approach? Is 3rd and 7 blitz package different than a 3rd and 3 blitz package? I think that's all stuff that we're going to try to figure out and talk about during the game.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. And Dan Orlovsky needs to tighten up here over the next couple. Yeah. What's today's date? December 17th. This is on the 20th. This is Monday night.
Dan's ready.
He needs to be. There's a chance you get exposed out there, Dan Orlovsky. You got Luke Kuechly on the other side. There is a chance. He's got an AI model working against him potentially, and a human AI in Luke Kuechly. Dan Orlovsky's the only non-AI out there. Field Yates is fantasy football AI, right?
Uh-huh.
Luke Kuechly is defensive football AI, right? I think if we were to get... And then actual AI model founded by Sean Lee. Okay, so...
We got Sully and Wazowski Orlovsky coming in.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. We were just doing Fun Day Monsters Inc. last week. Dan!
Range, baby.
Dan, tighten it up, Dan!
Good luck, Dan.
Tighten it up, Dan! We need you out there. Dan might also need to be speaking to the humans that are watching that aren't specifically dialed in to every single nose about number 3 in the tray over there. But I am excited to kind of learn a lot more about ball, especially through your eyes. We're all such massive fans of yours. And obviously, your defense was a massive piece of making it to the Super Bowl that year. Feels like the cyclicality word, you would tell me, I don't know, Boston College guy, the cyclicality and the cyclicalness and the
cyclical nature.
The nature of football. Yeah, you got it. Just use that in the fucking show. It feels like we have come back to a very physical style and maybe defense. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Luke, as we've been looking at the playoff picture over the last several weeks, it's become very apparent that there's maybe like 4 teams on both the NFC and AFC who could win the Super Bowl.
Pause. Hold on one second. Put it up, please. Put it up. You can use it, buddy.
Boom.
Okay. You can use it. Thank you. It's a word. Go ahead, Ty.
And like all 8 of those teams, they all have unbelievable defenses. And we had Bruce Arians on yesterday and asked him that question, and he basically said, like, that's important, but if you don't have a quarterback who can score 30 points a game in the playoffs, it doesn't mean shit. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. But would you be surprised if we're going back to that like maybe, like a 2000 Ravens, where if you have a truly elite defense and it's the best part of your team, then you don't necessarily need like a Josh Allen or one of those top 5 QBs in order to win a Super Bowl?
Well, I think if you talk to anybody in the AFC, the last team that they want to play right now is the Houston Texans. I mean, that defense has played extremely well. D'Amico has those guys rolling. And I think they're going to keep getting better on offense. CJ Stroud probably hasn't had the year that he's wanted, but they're big. They can run. Nico Collins is a really good football player. So I think the defenses certainly play a role in this, but I think, I don't disagree. I think having guys like Josh Allen always gives you an opportunity to win games. But on that AFC, you got the Broncos and you got the Texans. Those defenses are really daggone good.
Yeah, here's what the current playoff picture looks like. And to your point about the Houston Texans, they could be the 7th seed. They could end up a AFC South champion. I mean, there's a chance they have to take on anybody. But if it's Patriots-Texans, obviously Drake May and the Patriots have been successful. Travion Henderson has done his thing. But the Houston Texans make everybody's offense look like ass. They literally bring the boo birds out every single time they are playing in somebody else's stadium because of how great they are. So if you have an elite quarterback, I guess that's the only way you can really beat them, like Josh Allen just did, coming back from being down 21. So I guess Bruce Arians' point is valid, but it used to be like you just need a defense that's like able to get a stop whenever you need it. Now it feels like some of these defenses are full game, pounding, lower score type games. Is that what the playoffs look like? I don't know. I'll be excited to see what the fan reaction will be if it is a defensive dominant run to the Super Bowl for any of these squads. We can't wait to watch it. Good representatives in the AFC and the NFC. Hey, we are in a good place when it comes to ball. Up and to the right, everything, and that starts tomorrow night. Thursday night football, Rams and Seahawks, and then Monday night, Colts versus Niners, and that'll have a playbook with next-gen stats available alongside of it with Luke Kuechly's big-ass brain breaking it all down.
Phillip Rivers?
Yeah. Luke, you think Phil Rivers is going to be predictable, Luke? Yeah, fucking right. Okay, good luck. You might get it all wrong out there, brother. Okay, you might have no shot. We'll have it on in the suite. We will have it audio all the way up so we sound smart whenever we're watching. And I'll be excited for you to continue to add to this world of analytics while also using ball. Now, on that point, last question. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Luke, from Massachusetts. Last time I went to a BC football game, you were playing on the field. Thank you for your service, and thank you for kind of showing me I will never be successful at playing college football because of how good you were. But looking at the analytics and the stats, this is what your Monday Night Football is centered around. How do you feel about NFL coaches kind of centering their decision-making around statistics? It feels like it's going to be part of football no matter what. Analytics, they do help, but sometimes they hurt you more than you help you. How do you feel about that entire thing, really, with coaches using it to decide whether to go for 4th down, to punt the ball, those types of things?
Well, I think the advantage is when you trust the numbers. If you're going to be an analytics guy, the best way to be is to say, hey, every time it says go, we go. Every time it says don't go, we don't go. I think when you get in trouble is when emotion gets involved into the decision, and you say, hey, it's a strong go for it. Hey, we're not feeling it. The momentum's not there. Our guys aren't rolling in the right direction. I think in order to be successful over time using the analytics, and that's ultimately the goal of why you use analytics. It's not for the isolated time. It's for, hey, over the course of the season, if we listen to what the numbers are going to say, we're going to have an advantage over teams that don't. That's the best way to do it. And the worst way to do it is to kind of pick and choose and get emotional. And when you get emotional, things don't work out and the models don't work the way they're supposed to.
Oh, no. I think they got Luke. That doesn't sound like
no. Well, he's got Olsen.
No, it's all about the play. It's the play.
It's him and Greg versus JJ versus football. We don't love it. He's doing an analytics now show.
Sounds like
Black guy hates ball.
Hey, don't forget ball, Luke. Please don't forget that these are humans. I know you're not one.
There.
Huh?
It's still ball. You asked me the question about analytics, and you just gotta trust it. If you're an analytics guy, you gotta trust it and take the emotion out of it. Didn't say when I coached 7th and 8th grade football, that's how we do it. We lean a little bit more into emotion, but for the there we go. I'm coming back full circle.
Ball guy, yeah, push comes to shove. We know what you'll do. Yeah, whatever you need to win. With your big brain, I need you to help me here. And it doesn't look like you eat any of these. Last night, the only sweets that are available at my house was this box of chocolates. I went 0 for 3. I went 0 for 3. And I had a lot of people tell me, you need to look at the legend to know what they are. There was no legend on this box, okay? This was an actual box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. I went 0 for 3, the first 3. All 3 ass ones. You know that raspberry one that's in there?
Raspberry nougat.
Some other ass one. Which one would you go with next here, Luke, just using your brain and ability to predict things if you had to look at this particular box of chocolates?
Reading the legends, like reading instructions, you don't do it. You just go in there and dig in and find the one that looks the best. I mean, the first one that grabs my eye is that one with the white icing on top of it.
The drizzle or the sprinkle?
Yeah, the drizzle one. That one looks good to me. It looks like it would have a little crunch. Might have like a caramel filling on the inside. That one looks pretty safe to me.
Luke.
That's not good.
Yeah, it might be cookies and cream.
Luke, you have watched film.
You don't eat sweets,
we appreciate you. We'll see you on Monday night. We appreciate the hell out of you. Thank you for your service to ball. You're the man.
Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luke Kuechly.
Yeah, Luke.
That drizzle one has the soft inside cream. That's good. That's probably the 4th worst one in that thing.
Yeah, he's never eaten out of one of those boxes before because in the, 100 years they've been doing that. That one with the white drizzle on top has never had caramel inside of it once.
Yeah, and I didn't select it because I knew there was probably some ass in there.
Exactly.
But I'm going to say they're disguising these ones pretty good now. I thought I had the peanut one.
Peanut cluster?
Multiple times. And it was something vastly different.
Wow.
Won a couple of those.
Nightmare.
So then I go to the next one. Like, let me go ahead and get this one. Raspberry inside. That did not, you used to look different.
Those ones are deceiving. If you don't have the legend, those will, because those sometimes do look like they have caramel in the center.
0 for 3.
That's bad.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Put the top back on. Done with this thing.
Yeah, that's why
See
I
you
hate
tomorrow.
the assortment of things. I hate random shit. I like to know exactly what I'm getting. I want 12 of the same thing.
I want Reese's. All of them. That's what I want. But I want to let you know, the reality of the situation was I had that thing staring at me.
Yeah.
And I opened it, and boy, I did one of these. Blew the new healer dog running into my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure this thing out. Please sit. I'll give you one. Can't. This thing probably could just eat that whole thing of chocolate and survive. This thing's a house horse. Okay, it's outrageous. But it was laughing at me, too. Gave a couple, hoo, 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 as I was in the middle of it. I'm like, you need to get off my ass.
Dogs still can't eat chocolate?
No.
We gotta,
never.
We gotta evolve, man. Come on.
It's like the Achilles. It's the Achilles for dogs.
Get him a chip.
Even if this thing's a horse, which it clearly is. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. Goodbye. All the way here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up routine, gratitude, truly. I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly. Feel like new school, Dean, life's pretty cool, G, 3 jobs, few means tank top, blue jeans. So this is insane, I'm the 5th guy ever to ride this motorcycle. It's a 1996 Fat Boy. They've been doing it since 1999. It's called the Leader of the Quack. You can call me the Leader of the Quack right now. Quack, quack, quack. Guy currently, his name is Matt. He's a dog. He's wearing a different jacket today, and he told me to wear the one he's wearing. This is a Grateful Dead one, so I'm gonna wear this one. Leader of the Quack coming in 3, 2, and move shots, view screens, movie star, 2 scenes, bank account juicy, cancel you me, ugly man spooky, folks watch who sees, hating folks dookie, yeah you waiting for. Yeah, you waiting for Dookie. Yeah, you waiting for Dookie. Yeah, I'm up here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, checking out some new scenes. And you hating folks.
Were you the one that I beat the hell out of tic-tac-toe and Rochambeau?
I just beat him at tic-tac-toe. Hook, line, and sinker. You're the worst tic-tac-toe player of all time.
Yeah, get out. Undefeated. Completely done. You guys came down into the thing.
Make me wanna put my hands up and hang my heels up and smoke some tree and give me the Oregon Ducks to get a huge win today. A little bit softer now, 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 a little bit louder now, a little bit louder now, a little bit louder.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig! Stop! Damn it!
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Walt Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Hour 2 of the program begins now.
Football!
It is awesome, and Week 16 of the NFL season kicks off tomorrow as the NFC West will be on showcase as the Los Angeles Rams with Matthew Stafford, MVP at the age of 39, 40 years old.
Good for him.
Potentially. Leading a Rams team that could be the number one seed. Leading a Rams team that could win another Super Bowl. Leading a Rams team that was supposed to be in the middle of a turnover. Heading up to Seattle to take on a brand new Seahawks culture. Brought to it by McDonald. I'm sorry, not McDaniel. McDaniel just fired his quarterback. McDonald up there in Seattle with Sam Darnold leading the way on the offensive side with a run game and a defense that is obviously incredible. Seattle in the 12s will be on display. 5:15 local time. We got to remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, so every time we have primetime game, we're obviously excited. People are out of work, have been out of work, have a chance to even go home, get changed, head to stadium. Thursday, 5:15 local time. Okay, so that's an interesting kind of dynamic for this. They'll figure it out. They're a great fan base. But I'm excited to see Seattle on full display, especially in a divisional rivalry game for the number one and winning of the division, basically. So tomorrow should be special. That's what Week 16 will kick off with in the NFL. And then in college football, we got the playoffs, baby.
Boom.
We got the playoffs this weekend. Friday, it's Oklahoma. We got a college game day, I believe, 2 hours, 6 to 8, live from Oklahoma as Alabama will travel to take on the Sooners. Cannot wait for this particular matchup. Think it's going to be a beautiful one. Bama favored by 1.5 on the road. And then we'll travel down to College Station. College game day will be 9 to noon. Noon kickoff as A&M hosts the Miami Hurricanes. And then at 3:30 on True TV, Tulane will take on Ole Miss. And JMU will finish out the day taking on Oregon in Autzen on True TV as 21-point underdogs. Live from Hammer Downtown. AP Tone, Bama favored in Oklahoma. A&M favored by 3. Any surprises on those numbers? And what are you looking forward to most this first weekend of the college football playoff?
No, I don't think there's any surprises in those first two games as far as the number, or any game as far as the number is concerned. Bama outgained Oklahoma in that first game. It was at Alabama by 200 yards. They kind of dominated the game, but there was a pick 6 for Oklahoma's defense, and they forced 2 fumbles. That was kind of the story of the game in that one. The Oklahoma defense got the better of it as far as the turnovers were concerned. Yes, Alabama should be favored, but also Alabama has kind of played like shit since then. They had a close one against Auburn. They obviously got blown out in the SEC championship against Georgia. And Oklahoma's had some time to potentially get their offense fixed and get back to kind of what they were at the beginning of the season. So that one's kind of a coin flip, and the line shows that. And then when you go to A&M and Miami, when you go to -3, like when you're looking at sports books and numbers, the home field advantage is normally around 2.5 to 3 points. So if you want to look at it like that, they kind of have these two teams as even, which is kind of what everyone else thinks as well. They are very evenly matched. They both have incredible D lines. They both have incredible offensive lines, and they have playmakers on the outside on both sides of the ball. So that one kind of has those two teams rated evenly, which I don't disagree with at all. And then obviously you have the two big spreads between the more dominant teams versus the group of 5 teams.
Tulane plus 17.5 we like?
No.
Really?
They lost to Utsa.
So like, here's the thing with JMU and Tulane, okay? Listen, and the Roadrunners are very, very good at home. I think we're holding too much. I think we're doing Tulane a disservice, or the Roadrunners a disservice with that.
Okay.
But
I don't see the Roadrunners in the first weekend of college football playoff, but hey,
maybe they should be.
Maybe they should be. Something to think
They
about.
got a gripe.
Hey, especially with how bad they beat the hell out of the number 11 team in the country in the college football playoff.
But JMU, like, statistically is top 10 in basically every single stat on defense. Their defense has been dominant. Their offense is number 5 in the country in rushing at like 245, 250 yards a game. But their strength of schedule is 121st. So they haven't really done it against them. But at least the teams they play, they dominate. Tulane, still not a great schedule, and their stats aren't great either. So,
and their coach, is already in Florida?
Yeah, at halftime he's leaving.
Go halfway.
No, halftime.
No,
yeah,
Summerall's
halftime
doing a
he's
great
out.
job. He's sleeping 2 hours. He's doing his job at both places. He donated $100,000 back to Tulane.
Very nice of him. Him putting a Florida hat on at halftime to call some recruits, and then putting the Tulane visor back on for the second half.
Gotta go.
I mean, that's just multitasking to a T. I appreciate the fact that he's still doing it with Tulane, and they're still trying to go for it. But that dude definitely only cares about what Florida's got going on next year.
Yeah, he knows they can't win at all.
JMU's the same. JMU's head coach is going to UCLA.
He was actually just on Jim Rome. I think it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, and I don't know if there was one question about JMU. They're playing in a playoff game on Friday. He was just getting hammered about UCLA.
Saturday they're playing. So, excuse me. It was
Who cares?
Yeah, he was further away.
What's that?
They better enjoy it because it'll be a long road getting there from UCLA. Back to your shot to shine.
Yeah, Rose Bowl is obviously awesome, but the Big Ten's going to be a tough road to get to the college football playoff. So maybe he should enjoy every moment there with JMU. And also, maybe this isn't it for JMU. Boys look big, looked athletic.
Hired a great new head coach.
Is he coaching this weekend?
No, Billy Napier. I assume he's going to be on the sidelines, though.
Yeah, he's going there for a year.
Headset.
And then he's going somewhere else.
No, we don't know if that's true with Billy Napier, but maybe there's a chance that it happens. That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's AP Tone. Thank you,
Baby
buddy.
Tone.
Joining us now is a man who's won a college football national championship, a guy who will be on the sideline down there at College Station calling for the field pass, ESPN. People thought that was a giveaway. Yeah. A lot of people at Texas A&M sending me messages and tweets and stuff like that saying, hey, for your field pass, me and my husband have been diehard Texas A&M Aggie fans. Ooh. We would love to stand on the sideline with you as if it was like a giveaway. And I want to tell them, you can be on the sideline with us just through ESPN2. We will be on in the simulcast. But the field pass, for some reason, I think I don't know if it got on a message board or something, but there was an abundance of people that were like, hey, how do I win the field pass? Me and my friend have obviously been diehard Aggies. He used to be a yell leader 20 years ago, looking to get back, like all those types of things. So we will not be having anybody else with us. Those credentials are actually very difficult to get. You have to have very important jobs to get down there.
Some people.
And obviously, whenever you're standing on the sideline trying not to ruin a game and being dipshits who are incredibly lucky, that is deemed acceptable, I guess. And we are confused by it as well. But we will be down there, and we are very thankful for it. Not only us down there, it will also be, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk. Hawker, just a few days from college football playoff field pass, brother. This is a great time of year. How are you feeling just a few days out?
I'm feeling great. I think it's going to be awesome. I think the whole college football playoffs will be great, but this game is kind of a marquee matchup, I think, in this first round. I'm looking forward. Hopefully there is a random couple there that gets to stand there and stare at us do the simulcast.
Yeah, and maybe there will be. And there'll be somebody that'll be holding a monitor, and that person will just be
out to lunch.
Just have no idea what's going on. Have never seen football before, has no idea what we're doing there, but certainly getting a paycheck for them being there, and we're appreciative of them getting a job. But there will be a little self-awareness bonus class that'll be happening throughout the entire first quarter. We assume Spanx will be doing his thing.
Please.
Dropping in from the uprights onto our head, telling us we need to back up because he's got a shot that needs to be on TV for 14 seconds. So, that'll all happen. This has kind of become a part of the field pass process, but we're incredibly lucky to do it. We're very thankful for the folks from Texas A&M for being as hospitable as they have been. And also, Mario Cristobal in Miami, we're getting a production meeting. We're getting a chance to talk to the coaches before calling the game.
Let's go.
That has never happened before. AJ, this is a big deal, AJ.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very big deal. If you remember, me and you had a production meeting years ago with Matt Rule when he was at Baylor, and that was a fun experience. So yeah, I'm excited to talk to these coaches.
Yeah, I'm excited to get a little bit of a heads up on what we should be looking for as opposed to getting dropped in there blind without being able to see anybody's names or numbers or anything like that. So should be a fun time, fun experience. And in theory, the show should get better because of this.
It should. I love the insight we're going to get from these coaches. I got some good questions to ask.
I think just one question probably for each of us. We promised them a 6-minute call. So,
perfect.
So let's make sure we're not taking
perfect.
a lot of their time. But yeah, that's a classic. Hey, just need, somebody will come up and try to pitch something in life, and they'll say, I just need 5 minutes of your time. Way too much. Never expect 5 minutes from anybody's time. That is a crazy number to say. 90 seconds sounds amazing. That's going to be 5 seconds or 5 minutes, probably 6 minutes. But you need to get in the door with 90 seconds. That's what we did with these production meetings.
Good.
Hey, we just need 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Can we just get a little bit of a thing? That obviously is going to creep into 8, 9, maybe 10. Sure. But we can't be getting to 15. That would be egregious. So we just got to know that there is a sliding window of amount of time that they're expecting. And it's not a lot. We can steal a few on the back end, but we need to be respectful of the time. And D-Butt, you getting more questions than the rest of us, definitely you'll be in front of the line.
I just need one. Just one good one.
No, but you go front of the line, and then we'll go back. But if there's another rep, you'll be in the front of the line. Like off-season workouts, the terrible workouts.
Yep.
What part of the line you're in is obviously a massive piece of the amount of reps that you're going to get. So you don't want to be too obvious that you're trying to get to the back of the line. So you try to sneak in maybe 2 from the end because they're going to attack the people that are at the back and put them into the front because that's an extra rep. You see, if this is a 3-minute drill and there's a certain amount, the people at the front of the line are going to get the extra until the time runs out. So I learned that early. I was in front of the line early because I wanted to be a guy, I'll go first. Freshman.
Set the tone.
Why is everybody so, Pat, go ahead. And then I get through, oh my God. And then I got to go again. Oh no, bad idea. So next year, sophomore year, obviously we don't want to go all the way to the back. I played poker since, I'm 10 years old. We can't be overselling this thing. So you go from 2, from the end, get in there. And then all of a sudden, classic, next year, Rich Rod grabs the entire back line, puts them up in the front, says congratulations. And now guess who's smarter than everybody. I felt like a genius. Next year, did the same thing. Fun game. He took the entire back half of the line, put it up in the front half of the line. So, you're always evolving, always changing, but you certainly can be front of the line whenever it comes to questions so that if we get to the front and we steal another minute or two, you can get it because your insight during the game is special. Same with you, AJ. I think we try to provide actual ball knowledge while calling the game and following the game while providing something different. I do think we try that, and I think we've kind of gotten to the point where we kind of know it, Ty.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we at this point, how many of these have we done? It's been more that we've been doing this for several years now, and I think that's just natural. With the first, like you mentioned this like a couple weeks ago. The first time you do it, it's like, okay, when you're on the sideline, we got to follow the ball. So like you, AJ, and D-Butt are just like kind of just walking around the perimeter of the entire field, and then you realize like, oh, I just missed basically everything that happened on that drive trying to see everything. So we got our spots, like everyone kind of knows, especially I think me, Diggs, and Connor, like we kind of know which spots are that, hey, this is a good portion for you to maybe have something, whereas at the start it's kind of just like, we're just trying to get our feet wet here and find out where we fit in. And at this point, I think like we kind of know how this experience is supposed to go.
And we don't want to do a disservice to ball.
Right.
Yeah.
We understand we're having an opportunity that we should not have on that sideline. We're on ESPN2 for a college football playoff game, and we're standing on the field in front of 100. How many people, Tone, at Kyle Field down there?
110's the record.
Whew. Okay, playoff game. Let's assume it'll be 110,000 people.
Oh, yeah.
We very much understand we're not supposed to be there, and we're very grateful for the opportunity to provide an alternative to the main broadcast. Obviously, Kirk Herbstreit. Is it? No, it's McDonough, I think, right? Because I think Herbie's calling Oklahoma.
The night before.
Alabama.
Yes, so it'd probably be McDonough and McElroy.
Okay, so McDonough and McElroy will be on the call. We're on ESPN too. Just an alternative, If you want to come hang with us, we will certainly be grateful. And this is one of the really, 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 really cool parts of licensing the show through ESPN and having access to this. So we're very, very thankful for the opportunity. Also, shout out to Peyton and Omaha, who had this slot and then say, hey, do you want this slot now? Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll just worry about this other one over here. You got it. At the beginning of us having this Altcast deal, we did a couple in here. It was okay. It was okay.
I mean, Mississippi State, Alabama, 31-0. That wasn't okay when we just threw the ball around.
We set a world record.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Most completions during a blowout football game in the history of television, I would say. So we didn't have it, and we felt bad that we had the opportunity, and it was ass. The show was ass. Like, we did not think it was good for ball. Once again, lucky to have these opportunities. Let's provide something for the good of ball, at least a little bit, even though I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so I ruin it for the rest of the crew to even have an opportunity because I'm a part of some things. But we do like to at least add and provide. The first few were bad. As soon as we got on the sideline, it was like, this is the one that we're supposed to be. Mostly me, ex-punter, kicker. I mean, I've been on the sideline watching football a long time. Like, that is literally what my job was for a long time. And then AJ and D-Buck getting a chance to feel it and see it. And then the boys getting a chance to experience something that they could have never experienced. Their natural brains and talent is going to point out things. So I think we've got something that is good for ball as an alternative. And we're different than all the other Altcasts. Just like Luke Kuechly and Dan Orlovsky and Field Yates, it's different than everything else. I'm excited to see how it comes together.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely don't be expecting the Monday Night Football playbook with Next Gen Stats if you're coming to watch our Altcast on Saturday.
Yeah, because we have no idea. We would like to stress this again so you give us a little bit of grace whenever we're doing it. I am calling play-by-play for these games. I have no idea if it was a 5-yard gain or a 2-yard loss from where we were standing, which is a pretty important thing, especially whenever it's third down or fourth down. So there is a little bit of that where I'm just watching Jumbotron trying to figure out what the hell happens. But other than that, we think we provide a pretty good vibe. So we hope you'll come hang with us. And shout out to Texas A&M. I think we're getting a full Aggie.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet.
Good matchup, too. Good matchup. But obviously, that matters. It's been a good game. We've had the opportunity to be on the sideline with some great games and obviously some shite games. I expect this one to be a banger.
Yeah, and J.J. Watt has no idea what it's like to do this on television for 25 minutes. Because the game is 30-0 in the fourth quarter. There's still 3 minutes left there in that game. There's still another 25 minutes, and that's what we decided to do just basically for the entirety. So now we're on the sideline. So look how far we've come. It's a good time to catch up with this Altcast thing that we've been doing because this one's much better than the alternative. Joining us now is a man who's in the booth. Must be nice. With a spotter. Must be nice. With some food. Must be nice. An absolute legend who's earned all of it. A future first ballot Hall of Famer. A Houston Texan legend and member of the Bull Ring of Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, the owner of the Burnley Football Club, which I watched the other day. It was on TV this weekend. I think it was on NBC or something this weekend.
Did they win?
No, I don't think so. From the part that I saw, they were not winning at all. And also the Espanol soccer duper team over there in Spain. Ladies and gentlemen, JJ Watt.
Yeah, JJ.
What's up, JJ?
Hey guys, how we doing? I was just thinking this as you were talking about the Altcast, and I was just looking at the visual of all you guys on the sideline of Kyle Field. Have you ever done a MySpace top 8 style ranking of the boys? Like every week, like who's your best friend, who's on top of the show, who's crushing, who's not?
No, that's also Dance Moms. I know what you're talking about, like a pyramid type thing. Everybody's going to be fighting up the pyramid for the opportunity. We're all equals here, brother. We're all equals here. And everybody has the best week every week in their own ways. And once everybody starts thinking, then we'll start ranking
participation trophies all around, boys. Congrats on the participation. You did it. You did it.
We're up 17%.
Don't keep score, baby.
Thanks,
Don't keep score.
They are keeping score. We're up 17%. Everybody's doing great. Hey, boys. Everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing great. Everybody's doing great. Really good job, boys. Really good job, boys. Up 17%. We're up a lot last year, and we're up another one. Yeah. So everybody's doing good. Thanks.
Everybody gets a juice box. All right.
Is Burnley worth a fuck? Is anybody getting judged over there? Is there
a good Texas A&M game against Miami, man? That is going to be a good matchup you guys are going to be on the sidelines for.
Hey, we need you sometime to join us, obviously, because your height might help you actually.
Kyle Field is, Kyle, I've always said this, I've said this a long time. If I was designing a football stadium, Kyle Field would be the beginning template for what I would design.
Okay, so have you been there? Because I think D-Butt's landing in Houston, then driving over there. I think that it is in proximity of each other. Texas, obviously, massive state. I've gotten a chance to go down there with game day. I haven't seen a game there. I've only seen it from TV. It is awesome. What a special place, right? Is that kind of how everybody views it?
Unbelievable atmosphere. Yeah, they got some of their weird things that they do, but somehow it all works. And on game day, it is phenomenal.
What's weird, Gage? What's weird?
I mean, I think they self-admit that it's weird, but just some of the things that they do, just non-traditional, just different than other places. But
like college traditions that people have that we don't understand because we don't go there. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Hey, I like Age going to bat for the Texas A&M people.
Wow.
I like you doing that.
Can I not hype up Texas A&M?
No, you're burying them, I think is what AJ
I was
said.
trying to help you there. I was trying to help, but it's not weird, right?
No. See, this,
I'm a novice to
this.
this.
Isn't what you but you don't just blindly toss the praise out and act like everything is 100% awesome. Like we can be honest about things and be like, yeah. If you looked at it from the out, there's some things that people from other places look at and are like, all right, yeah, that's your thing. That's how you guys do it.
I got it.
But what I was saying, if I could get back to it, was that when it all comes together on game day, it's unbelievable. Everybody is packed on top of you. This is not one of those stadiums that they left extra room so that you could have soccer games and concerts and everything. They smushed this thing to the sidelines. They built it directly up into the sky, and everything's looking down on you. It seems like that student section is going to topple onto the field.
Yes.
And when they play that power coming out onto the field, it is that place is cool. It's really, really special. So I think it's going to be great. And obviously home of Shane Leckler. So you got to give the shout out to.
We'll obviously talk about Shane Leckler, who needs to be in the Hall of Fame stat. I mean, that is not even a question. Shane and Vinny going in same time would make a lot of sense, I think, because that's how kind of everybody kind of views those two respective positions. But Shane Leckler, stud, goes there as quarterback, right? Didn't he go there as a quarterback?
Yep. R.C. Slocum.
Can still spin it. Can still absolutely spin it if he had to. Dude Perfect also down there. Your business partners. Kyle went down there.
There you go. Yeah, chuck something off the top deck. See if you can hit something.
Maybe we do that. Maybe we send somebody. That's a good idea, JH.
Tyler's done it before.
You're welcome. This sucker's always working up here, except for when it's not.
Makes sense if you don't think about it. Let's go ahead and dump that because that is a really good idea. So let's make sure that doesn't get out. We should have. You guys should maybe be standing up on the top. Instead of things right on top of each other. You guys should
Connor, stand at the bottom and try and catch it.
Oh, not a bad idea.
Marshmallow, maybe?
Oh.
Or a football. Or a bowling ball.
Jeez.
Sure, bowling ball. You do. That'd be easy.
All right, so this weekend college football playoff is awesome. The NFL, too. We're in an incredible time. Tomorrow night, Rams and Seahawks kick off Week 16. Saturday night, we got important football. Sunday night, we got important football. Monday night, we got important football. Feels like it's special, but also, if you look at the playoff picture currently, there's a chance we have no idea how this is all going to shape up. What are kind of your thoughts on this NFL season, as this is the current playoff picture, but also none of this is set in stone, and for the first time since 2016, we enter a Week 16 with no divisional champions yet. It feels like it's all very much up in the air, Jage.
I feel like for fans, I mean, obviously outside of Kansas City, Philadelphia, and a couple of places that have traditionally kind of been there year after year, this is going to be the most fun playoffs that we've had in a while from a standpoint of it feels like we're going in and anybody could beat anybody and you have no idea what's going to happen. And so as somebody who's obviously out of the game now, this is such a blast to watch because every week it feels like something new is happening, somebody new's popping up. Now you've got the Broncos sitting there at 12-2, and I think the Rams Thursday night is going to be awesome, insane, because I think the Seahawks and Rams over there in the NFC are cream of the crop, and that'll be fun to see them both play. I don't love that it's on a short week where they don't get the full prep. I'd love to see it at full force. But who knows? Maybe we see it again at some point. But this playoffs, to me, tell me if I'm wrong, feels like one of the first in a long time where you're not penciling people in to move forward easily.
No, absolutely not. And down the stretch, everything can kind of change too, which is special. I think the Rams are the only team we're all kind of high on, but then they lose to the Panthers 3 weeks ago, and we turned our tune quickly. I mean, all it is one loss to change the entire picture, especially with 3 weeks remaining in the NFL season. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Jage, when you look at those AFC teams over there in the playoff picture right now, I guess which team do you trust the most to go on a run and potentially make it into the Super Bowl?
I mean, obviously, the Texans' defense is unbelievable. And if C.J. Stroud plays like he has recently, where they're starting to figure themselves out, I obviously have a lot of high hopes for the Houston Texans. I think when you play defense at that level now, they've definitely lost some guys to injuries, which has hurt them a little bit, especially on the interior of that defensive line, which helps out the entire defense. But I mean, I've said this for a few weeks now. Like, the Jaguars are underrated, and I feel like they get disrespected a bit at many turns here. They're just quietly going about their business and improving every single game. And Trevor Lawrence is getting better, and they're meshing together. So I think that's happened. And then I just got to watch it last weekend live, and I'll see it again this weekend. When Josh Allen goes Superman mode, you can't stop them. Like, when he goes into that mode and they decide, like, they were down 21-0 on the road in a hat and t-shirt game, and they found a way to turn it around. And then I asked them to put together the stats because I have them again this weekend. Josh Allen's first half to second half stats are unbelievable. Let me lay this out for you here. First half, 64% completion percentage. Second half, 75%. First half, 95 yards per game. Second half, 139 yards per game. First half, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Second half, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Now, here's where I think it is the biggest difference, and here's why I think it's different. Rushing. Josh Allen in the first half, 35 rushes, 146 yards, 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen in the second half, 63 rushes, 389 yards, 9 touchdowns. Jeez. I think the defenses get worn out trying to contain him, keep him in the pocket, and keep this team bottled up. And the Patriots did an unbelievable job in the first half, keeping him bottled up. But I think you just get fatigued over the course of a game, playing tight man, playing all these contains in the pocket, and then he just wears you down over the course of the game, sees you get tired, and takes full advantage.
It's the old Derrick Henry conversation whenever he was with the Titans. It's like, hey, what the first half's going to look like versus what the fourth quarter's going to look like, very different with Derrick Henry. Now, that's because he was literally thumping him. You're saying the amount of effort that they are trying to put in into keeping him contained can wear you down a little bit. Let's stay with Superman that you're talking about with Josh Allen. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Kind of seemed inevitable, and it's going to be tough. We were talking about it yesterday. It's going to be tough for me, at least, to pick another team and quarterback specifically against Josh Allen once these playoffs starts with Mahomes out of it. But you've had your eye on him. Is there enough around Josh Allen as far as the weapons on offense and then the defense, especially that run defense? Do you think it's enough for them to actually make a run when the playoffs come?
I mean, I think the defense is the question. I think on offense, I think their tight ends are such a massive key. I mean, you look at the numbers when Dalton Kincaid's on the field versus when he's off the field. When he's out there, he's able to do so much. James Cook is second leading rusher in the league, could possibly get up there in the first category, like just running all over. When he runs wild, their offense clicks. So I do think there's enough on the offensive side of the ball because Josh is Josh. The defense is where you start to wonder and question about it. Now, you have to give them credit. While they got torched in the first half this last week, they did lock it down in the second half, and they found a way to close that game out. Massive moments. They made plays. So you give them credit there. But even the week before against Cincinnati, the big turnovers for touchdowns, they needed those big plays to do it.
Yep.
So if their defense can tighten it up, that's where it is. But like you said, D, but Superman is Superman. And that Kansas City is not standing there in the way anymore. And I don't like that it's a consistent caveat that we're throwing on it, but it is what it is. That's the reality.
Put escape on, baby. Especially whenever it's cold weather, what he's going to be able to do.
It's amazing.
We just believe in Josh Allen. And I think, the only thing that's waiting on a Josh Allen resume to be goated is Lombardi. And that's what anybody says is, can he win, can he win, can he win? It's the same conversation that's happened with Lamar. No matter how great you are, no matter how many MVPs, no matter how many capes, Superman capes you put on and win games, or how special you look like, then you get to a stage where it's like, well, how many Lombardis do you have? Can you win the Lombardi? Because that'll be held against you forever. Is this the year that Josh Allen changes that? Start with Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Announces a pregnancy, gets married, and wins a Lombardi. Wow.
That
What a run for Josh Allen that would be.
That franchise, too, well, because they had the four straight years going, losing it. If he can actually bring one to that,
Imagine that parade.
We all respect, Bills Mafia as a fan. Well, most of us respect him as a fan base. That would be crazy if 17.
New stadium? I mean, this would be like the send-off of the last day.
Yeah.
Oh, my. It's almost all written in the stars.
There.
It's all there. Are they still calling him ugly? No.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that, I don't think. After the pregnancy, let's just say.
He's not ugly. He's handsome.
You don't got to tell me.
He's
You don't got to tell me.
He's
What are we
6'5".
What are we talking about here?
What's
the Haley Steinfeld heads
the
are
Stein fans?
the Stein fan stands.
Get their names
They think
right.
Josh is ugly, JJ. It's messed up.
That's what they said. We don't like it at all. We've actually had to go to bat a couple different times. And Josh, Josh, a friend of the
Maybe
program.
taking a look at this panel, we're not the people here to be judging who looks how.
Neither are these.
Yeah,
people
that's what
on
we're
the
saying.
internet.
That's what we're saying, Jage. I appreciate you taking an opportunity to grandstand there. We're not saying that he is not attractive. What we're saying is they need to stop talking about our MVP like this. We don't like that. Josh is handsome. He's 6'5".
Hilarious.
He's the MVP
I
of
did
the
not know.
NFL.
Cowboy.
Though your little handsome models, Josh Allen would pick them up by the top of their head like this. Actually,
scrunch them into a
smack them
football.
around. Smack them around.
Who do they want? They like Chamelet?
Well, everybody likes,
Hey,
everybody likes
on.
Timmy now.
That's not the guy. That's not the guy.
And he's with Kylie, so
I like Timmy. I'm saying it as a good thing.
Okay.
Gosh, you guys are really just trying to throw me under the bus.
Yeah, it's kind of been fun. It's kind of been fun. I didn't know this was going to be the day, but I do appreciate it.
Neither did I.
How about AJ?
That's all right. I got my shovel, big dog. I'll dig myself out. I'm all good. Ain't no problem.
I mean, that started with AJ going, what are you calling weird? Just real quick, you want to offend an entire group of
He
people?
took a hit off his protein shake and all of a sudden turned into Lex Luthor over there.
No, that's not protein. That's the, what are those things?
Aminos.
Aminos. That's aminos. Bro.
Oh, you don't like my aminos?
Yeah, that's how I speak like that.
Jage, do you drink aminos all day? Is that something you do?
I take aminos. I just had a shake after my workout there were aminos in it. BCAA.
That tracks.
God, you guys are the best. Remember Laurent Landry?
He was taking more than aminos.
But
He was pretty strong. He's pretty strong.
he had a red bottle.
My guy.
He had a red bottle. I mean, he's one of my favorite humans I've
yeah.
ever witnessed in real life. Just so entertaining, so positive, like legitimate. Like there's not a negative thing that I could say Laurent Landry brought into our locker room, other than the fact that he arrived at 280 pounds. We signed him to safety, 275, 280, and he decided, didn't tell anybody, that he wanted to be a DN safety hybrid, is what he wanted to do with the Colts. Obviously, fresh off
Common combo.
which. I mean, it would have changed the game.
Look the part.
There's a chance he could have done it. I mean, there was a chance he could have done it the first time he showed up. So I think there was an immediate, like, well, this guy doesn't care at all. And then we start to, like, hear him, talk him, watch him. It's like, this guy's the greatest. This guy is maybe one of the most entertaining, electrifying humans of all time. But he had a red bottle that was with him at all times. I think it was even in his tights during practice. And just like AJ just had regular water there. There's a bottle right next to it. It's a red bottle that's always with him.
And the piss bottle.
And there's a bottle attached to the table, obviously. And that's a yellow one. Oh, yeah, right. He's hydrated. It's light yellow, which is what we're looking to do. Let's pivot away from you two physical specimens and what you guys do on a day-to-day. And let's talk about a physical specimen that ended up in an unfortunate situation, your brother. Obviously, we've learned a lot about his situation through your Twitter account whenever you broke the news of like what actually happened. And I feel like you wanted to clarify some things or clear the air on exactly what took place. How is your brother right now? Obviously, Steelers fans missed him on Monday night. They get their first win without him. Obviously, changed the course of Miami Dolphins football forever on Monday night, which some of the boys will ask you about. But from the Pittsburgh standpoint, with your brother, how's he feeling? Is everything okay? And was it a sketchy situation in there? I assume anytime there's emergency surgery, it's not great news for the entire family or himself.
Yeah, he's working through it. It's obviously not somewhere that he expected or would like to be, but just handling the situation day by day and making sure to find the appropriate and proper steps to get back to where he would like to be.
Sketchy though, right? I mean, that's probably because obviously things happen throughout a football season. There's injuries that take place. But hearing, I mean, obviously, we're talking about your perspective from this, what you don't want to do. You want to talk about TJ because it is about TJ, but let's just talk about you because you're here, and then you can obviously allude to TJ. But just out of nowhere, that's a routine thing for him. He does dry needling on a regular basis. I assume this is a part of his regular game week routine. And then for that to immediately lead to, oh, he's going here, and we got emergency surgery and lung involved. Like, that's pretty quick. How did you kind of handle all that stuff? And what was kind of the vibe of the Watts as a whole as they get blindsided by this situation, seemingly?
Yeah, I mean, I would say unexpected is the appropriate word. Dry needling is incredibly common. Everybody in the league, anybody who's been in the league has probably done it at some point. I would say he was certainly not anticipating being in the hospital and getting lung surgery last week.
All right, well, please tell him. I assume he doesn't watch this show. He's too locked in on everything else. Hey, he's probably right now actually taking his little fingers into his body and stretching out his lung to make sure it's entirely full. That's how we view you, Watts. But please send our positive vibes and well wishes. That's scary shit. There's no such thing as routine surgery. Like, anytime somebody says this, a normal surgery, routine surgery, it's like, they putting him out and are they cutting him open? Yes. Okay. This shit is not routine. This is a very serious, a very important thing. Happy to hear he's okay. Hopefully recovery will continue to go that way. We're sorry for everybody a part of that. Now, let's talk about the other side of that now. The Pittsburgh Steelers get a massive win on Monday Night Football that TJ was not able to be a part of, and then the Miami Dolphins start making some big-time decisions. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Jay's breaking news today. Tua is being benched in Miami, and Quinn Ewers will get his first start against the Bengals. It feels like a lot of people might have saw the writing on the wall with the Jalen Ramsey Tua yuck it up session after they got blown out. I believe he was the last one on the field with Jalen Ramsey, having a jolly old time, even though their season was inevitably over after this loss. They are no longer lurking. What are kind of your takeaways from the Tua time in Miami, and where do you think Miami goes from here? Just because, it was kind of one of those things where they score 70 points versus the Broncos a few years ago. They're changing offense in the entire NFL to this moment in time now where this has become a complete joke. Miami and the Dolphins look awful after kind of going on a little run during the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little, I know that this is, old man get off the lawn type situation where it's old school. But I think I'm a believer in there is like at least a minimum responsibility on the optics and everything with the fan base and understanding how everybody's feeling after a certain game or after a way the season is going. And the fans, I mean, the players, everybody cares so much about this game. And I do believe, and it's, trust me, I'm not sitting here saying don't laugh and that, you can't talk to a friend after a game or anything like that. But like, I do think that there are some optics of when you're cracking up, like belly laughing on the field after you just lost a huge game in that way to be eliminated from the playoffs, like that. That's a look that doesn't go over well, whether it's with certain other players in the locker room, whether it's with ownership, whether it's with the fan base. Like, there is a responsibility, especially when you're the highest paid player on the team and you are the leader of the organization. That's just not a good look, truthfully. I mean, point blank, you can't be doing that after a huge loss.
Yeah, I was up for it. So, I felt like a younger version of me, by the way. Stayed all the way up through that entire thing. I think I was trying to celebrate with the Inzer people who did not boo Renegade, which is a very cool thing. I think it was active text messages coming from Pittsburgh about the team. We're all the way back. We're winning the Super Bowl, so maybe that's why I was up. Game ends. I go to the bathroom, okay? I come back out. Tua's still on the field, okay? I go, Bluey is going crazy. Got to settle him down, come back in. Tua's still on the field. Tua's last guy off the field, basically. And it's like, how is the quarterback for the losing team last guy? And to your point, I felt like old man. I was like, don't get mad about this. This is not a thing. This is different generation. Obviously, him catching up with Jalen, that's good news. Him and Jalen are friends. Jalen likes Tua, still has respect for Tua, wants to talk about Tua. That means Tua's a good teammate. Like, I was going through all those things in my head, but then I was just at the end like, you'd never see any quarterback that's going to win a Super Bowl have that situation happen. Like that, you would never. Patrick Mahomes, would we ever see him after a loss, jovial, the last person off the field at an away game at an away stadium after a loss. It's like, no. Josh Allen, you would never see that. Like Peyton, Tom, I don't even want to have to get into that whole conversation. Drew, yeah, right. Drew was like genuinely shoot pissed, it felt like every time. So then I started going back into that conversation. I'm like, this is year 6 for this. This guy's supposed to be, is already a made man at the quarterback position getting paid. I just keep asking, where did this all, was it them trading away every good player that they had? Maybe. But they still had a chance to make it in the playoffs. Does he seemingly not care? Do him and McDaniel get along? Does the franchise like him? Does he not like the franchise? You start asking all these questions, and then they announce that he's benched for a 7th-round draft pick, and then you're like, well, what the fuck's wrong with Zach Wilson? Is Zach Wilson okay down there? Then I start asking all these questions, and then you immediately all the way lead back to his team hasn't won a playoff game in 25 years. Okay, so there's probably a lot of problems. Let's assume that there'll be a fresh start for all parties, and hopefully it goes better. Let's go to the other half of the hammer. Dahn, Cowboys, Bubba Gumpino. Good news, bad news. We've moved on from Tua time.
Unfortunately, it is good news because I liked Tua when we drafted him. I believed him in him. But you go back to his best season. You remember how big he was? He was muscular, stood in the pocket, took hits, threw the ball deep, and then he got paid and he completely changes everything. Everything changed. And then this year, he throws teammates under the bus. Every time he talks, it's never his fault. And then that was the end of it on Monday night. You can't do it anymore. He's the face of the franchise doing this shit all season long. It's been 2 years of this shit that nobody's noticed.
They cut Matthew Judon. Judon is released by the Miami Dolphins. His deal is 1 year, $6 million. I don't know what that means for how much money is remaining. Will he clear waivers? We assume. We assume he will. But this whole Dolphins thing, like McDaniel, we assume...
Yeah, bye-bye.
It's over, and it's just like a restart down there. And that's where we're at right now. We're staring down restarts at some teams, and then we're staring down potential Lombardis at others. And it's a crazy time of year, and we're very lucky to be a part of it. In the Indianapolis Colts, staring down Lombardi still. Go ahead, Ty. Thank you.
Yeah, Jage, what did you think of Phil Rivers' performance last week? Because, on every sports show kind of leading into Sunday, there were people saying that it was organizational mispractice for them bringing him back. This guy's going to get killed. We're worried about his family. And then he puts the Colts in position to win the game. Now, his stats weren't unbelievable, but I don't think anyone was expecting them to be. But moving forward, do you think the Colts still have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, especially if Phil Rivers is going to be the guy at the helm?
Tough road.
I mean, what I will say is that, I don't think there's certain people that went super far with their comments on, everything. And I don't think it was wrong to have concerns about him taking hits. I think that was a legitimate thing coming in. Now, he did what I think exactly he should do. Obviously, hand the ball off, and he got it out of his hands extremely quick because he's an unbelievable processor. And so I think it's awesome what he did. I think literally him making it through the whole game, having a chance to win that game at the end, taking him down for the field goal, and then unfortunately losing it at the end. But it was must-see TV. It was awesome. And for him, it was probably the greatest feeling ever. And for all those kids back watching, it was so cool. And so as a fan of the game, I loved it. I am very happy that it ended with him successfully moving on to the next week and having a chance to do it again. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I didn't have those concerns, because I certainly did.
I think we all did. We all had the concerns. 5 years away from the game. We all saw what he looked like.
He looked fat, but then that got squashed
but he wasn't
pretty quick,
fat.
like a bag of leaves.
Yeah,
the pregame warm-up shot with the jacket, that rain jacket that kind of puffs out further.
It's windy
with
in
the belly
Seattle.
is not a good look, and that was not the best photograph.
Well, and also, I think with the hat, the way that the hat was fitting on his head and the way the hoodie was, there was potentially no real jawline either. So, in his press conference, so everybody's immediately going, there's some big old fat guy who's going to play quarterback for the Colts. What are we doing? And Phil Rivers' answer was I never run away from anybody anyways. And I have no idea what my weight was coming off Buffalo. I don't know what it is now. Then he put the pads on, put shoulder pads on. He had the rib protectors, the spleen protector on.
Good.
And he looked exactly like Phil Rivers. I'm happy that happened. And the all-whites that the Colts wear, not easy. You cannot hide in there.
That's why on Monday.
You cannot hide in there. We got the Indiana Knights uniforms on Monday Night Football. On Monday Night Football. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she grew up tall and she grew up brown with the Indiana boys on the Indiana Knights.
Capitalize.
That song's about marijuana, and I love it. And I love that we're using the Indiana Knights uniforms in a night game. Monday night.
Smoking that
You're
San
right.
Fran pack.
Good question. It's stupid.
What's that?
Why is it a lowercase I?
Yeah.
Hey, AJ with a great point.
No, don't worry about it. Worry about the graphic. That's a capital I in the graphic. Don't worry about it.
I had to intentionally do that, though.
Because
At least they're wearing them at night. I mean, this is a step forward.
Thank you. Let's not worry about the lowercase I in the.
Are these the ones with the black helmets, blue jerseys? Is that what this is?
Yep.
Black
Yeah.
helmets, blue jersey?
Yeah, that's why they blacked it out in the photo.
These are
Like, you can't
sweet.
even tell
These are
what it
sweet.
is.
Look how sick that helmet is, and look at that jersey.
Sweet is a stretch.
Oh! Boom!
Sauce.
That's a night time, baby. This is built for the stars. This is built for. Oh, sorry, Sauce. Yeah, but this is Sauce Gardner's. This is Sauce Gardner's.
Well, I mean.
Built for the stars. Built for prime time. Built for Phillip Rivers. Now, Phillip Rivers also hasn't had the opportunity to play in front of a packed-out Light House in Lucas Oil Stadium. Because whenever he was Colts quarterback, they had cardboard cutouts of me and the boys in the stands during COVID. So it's a crazy time here in Indianapolis. We got night uniforms for a night game because remember, they rolled these things out. The marketing department had a brilliant idea on these Indiana nights, which why I would like to be heard loud and clear that I appreciate the fact that they're pulling from a Tom Petty song about weed and they're promoting it because if you play that guitar lick anywhere, everybody will sing along and it obviously puts Indiana in a great place. But whenever they rolled it out, we did it with 1 o'clock games. And we didn't make playoffs, and we stunk. So there was no prime time. They actually changed the rule, I think, for the Indianapolis Colts not to have to get a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Like, usually every team had to get a Thursday night game at least for one time prime time. And then they changed that rule. And the team the next year that didn't have any of the prime time games was the Indianapolis Colts. And we had Indiana Knights waiting on deck. So they rolled this thing out, and they put them on at 1 o'clock, and we lost. So all across the board, we lost, I think. So now that it's Monday Night Football and we got the Indiana Knights uniform, San Francisco 49ers, good luck. Bob Saleh has no fucking idea what he's
you're probably right.
He has no idea what he's about to watch.
When to go home.
He is no.
You can't even see the uniform in the picture.
Exactly.
It's in there.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is a big concern.
They know.
You're right.
Why
They
did they
know.
not capitalize the I? That's disgusting.
Because no I in team.
Well, there's 2 I's in Indiana,
Okay.
so you need them.
Somebody's going to tweet us and be like, "Hey, morons, this is why."
Yeah, there's got to be a
But
reason.
I don't know
right?
why.
I think that
don't know why.
it might
Definitely
have to do
a
with
reason.
some of the stuff that's like the cool intricacies of the new uniforms. Like there might be something like that. Like I know the Colts, the symbol itself has the outline of the state of Indiana, I believe in it. Like there might be some cool little thing that we're forgetting.
Bruce Brown just did some deep dive.
Speaking of cool little things, that tarp you got on is sweet, brother. That Bruce tarp.
We beat the absolute shite out of that dork Ryan Smith's Utah Mammoth last night.
Utah Mammoth, a good team, I heard.
Yeah, and there's a team that's better, and they're in Boston, baby.
Ryan Smith is a super genius. We appreciate his work ethic. There's a chance some would call him a dork, especially if you're losing to the Boston Bruins.
Yeah, good luck with you. Focus on your Jazz, lad. Everyone's pretty bummed out about them, too.
They're building a facility right now that's going to be the nicest facility in all sports.
By far. They got the Mammoth thing going, too, but a lot of people...
Nah, don't back down now. Don't back down now.
Hey, have you
Keep
heard-
going or don't do it at all.
Have you heard about what they're doing with their practice facilities?
It's cool, man.
Yeah, they're opening it up to the public, like part-time.
I don't know, maybe. That sounds like a good business venture that Ryan Smith would potentially do, but if it's going to sacrifice winning, he will stay away from it. Bought a mall.
Okay.
Mall. You know malls. Gigantic.
I'm aware. Carry on.
Department stores. You know how big department stores are, like the
Nordstrom,
J.C. Penney,
J.C. Penney,
Dillard.
Yeah, bought a mall. Okay, and now he's turning like J.C. Penney is the Utah Jazz facility, and then you go up some actual escalators that are there, go down, and then you enter into the Utah Jazz facility, which is like Nordstrom or something like that. And they're both gigantic. Built it up in 1 year, the Mammoth side of it. Going to do the same thing for the Jazz. And then I do believe it is going to be, there's a public area of the mall that's going to be on that side. If their teams could just get good, you know.
Mammoth have. The Jazz, they actually really, really are in a bad spot.
Why is that? Because they thought they were potentially going to get the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, it turns
That
out
is cool.
Oklahoma City has their pick, and now Oklahoma City's going to have 2 top 10 picks. And actually, the Jazz are contributing to ruining the entire NBA if that happens with the Oklahoma City Thunder. But that might not
practice
happen.
facility, very good.
Very good, and the Mammoth are climbing.
Very good, and it's beautiful. But that is a beautiful sweater there for the Boston
cool.
Bruins as the NHL continues to be awesome. And to wrap up the Colts lowercase I thing, Bruce did some research. I guess this has happened multiple times. There's somebody that's really new and cool that has a social media degree that wants to add their own little flavor. Yeah, all right. Just capitalize the goddamn I. I know you got a social media degree. Please, it's the name of our state, you know.
What a joke.
I hate the social media people. Not everywhere. Okay, just the super duper geniuses that are, having all.
It's an artistic choice they took. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I believe that is what Bruce has come to a quick conclusion that there's potentially a new thumb on the social account, and kind of want to make their own mark, or maybe leave their own little artistry. Maybe start a trend.
Mission accomplished.
New thumb or new knob.
I believe the Chargers are lowercase only over on their X account, so it is a bit of a thing.
Not a bad idea to follow the Chargers.
strong.
Maybe we back off this take. Maybe we back off. We have not gotten full context of it all. If you were doing what the Chargers are doing, we would say, good. Hey, this new social media person really doing it. Really like what they're doing.
Innovative.
I really like what they're doing. See new information. We keep it moving. But on that note, let's capitalize that.
Yeah, there's nothing cool about being wrong. That's not the way it's spelled.
No, especially with states.
Yeah, especially our state.
Yeah. Especially Indiana.
Yeah, our state. Yeah. Especially.
Ty, you leaning up over there? Ty, are you leaning out?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. You just look lean. You look very lean.
Am I leaning out? No, that's very nice of you to say that, because I probably need to lose about 35 pounds. So thank you.
New you, coming right up.
So thank you for saying that. That actually makes me feel great. So maybe now I'm not going to do anything for the next,
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. That's good.
My turn.
Be a friend, tell a friend. You looks like you might be getting the holiday bump.
Whoa!
Thank you. The holiday weight loss bump. I like that.
It looks like you have some good cooks in your family.
Oh, I like that. The kitchen's obviously operating at optimum.
Mother's a fine cook.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Connor,
how long is the hair going? Because I am on chop watch.
Yeah,
I am near the end of the line here. I think I'm at the end. Are you at the end? Where are you at?
No, I'm not. I mean, I think I've gone past the point of where I want it to be, so I need to trim it up maybe a little. But I don't think you should cut your hair, dude.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
Where you at?
I'm at the point and probably just past the point of where I would like to be.
Okay, my question for you is, will you continue to be hat guy to keep it down? Because hat at the beginning to keep hair down while it's huge ordeal. Yes, I think it's a technique that is used by a lot of people. You can continue to do that while continuing to grow it out, right? I cut you off there, but will you continue to do that while you grow it out?
Well, no, I don't want to grow it anymore. I am done growing it. It is at the length where I definitely don't want it to be any longer than this.
Oh, maintain.
I think it might even be a touch too long at the moment. The hard part is on Sunday. Like, I like wearing a hat. I like the flip out the back of the hat. But on Sundays, I got to go on air. And for 4 hours, this has to somehow stay like okay. But you put on a headset, you put off the headset, you're out in the elements. Like, it doesn't stay good for that long. So I don't know what to do, man.
Spray, hat, let it dry.
Yeah, I know. I do that. But then I got to take the hat off to go on television.
And you're telling me your hair has so much bounce that
it'll
it's
do
battling
this
through
thing
that?
where it it falls down in front like this. It does like this thing.
That actually looks awesome.
Yeah, that's a good look.
Kind of looks sweet. You have good hair, dude. You have really good hair. I don't think you should be embarrassed by it.
Had the reverse coif this week too. Usually, JJ, I've noticed you go left to right, but this week it was right to left.
Do you have a lot of calyx in there or no?
It's not too bad. I don't know.
I think your hair is good, dude.
Yeah, that would be a fun gimmick coming back from break, and if you do what you just did, and then your hair
sitting over the top,
that'd be
just
awesome.
Get a little coif.
Every once in a while, Joey Burrow will get like the curl,
boom,
the curl down in front, like Razor Ramon. Yeah. I think you should think about that whenever you're doing it. Your hair's good, dude. I don't think you should quit on it.
And don't be for me at least, don't be fickle about it. That's my problem. Like, I want to look exactly one way. Once you do that, then you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
You're chasing. Speaking of chasing,
that's fair.
Matthew Judon is going to be available. We all assume. There was a team that lost a great pass rusher that might be in the market. Go ahead, AQ.
Yeah, JJ. Tough weekend of injuries, obviously, with Micah Parsons going down. How big of an impact is it with Green Bay losing him, and what does their defense look like moving forward?
I mean, it's a gigantic impact. He is a phenomenal player. He changes everything for how teams have to block, to account for him, to know where he's going to be, lines up all over. He's explosive. He's an incredible player. And when you're losing one of the best players in the National Football League, you can't replace him, even with 1, 2, 3 guys. It's just different when you have that level of athlete on the field that you have to account for. So, yeah, they can go out there and get somebody. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be more of by committee figuring out how this defensive front is going to get the pressure to try and somehow replicate a percentage of what he's leaving behind. And that's guys stepping up. It's games, it's schemes. It might be pressure from the second level or the back end, but it is going to be the whole defense rallying around. You literally cannot replace a player of that caliber with 1 or 2 guys.
I mean, would a hometown or a home state guy maybe take, I don't know, $25 million to come back and maybe try to fill that void for a playoff run here?
Oh, mama, J.J. Watt's in the Packers.
I wanted to play for the Packers in free agency.
I know you.
I wanted to go to Green Bay.
And what
They
happened?
were not interested.
What?
That was old regime.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got Ed Policy now.
Finish your story.
That's where I wanted to go. I told my agents, I don't care what the number is. I don't care how low it is. Tell me what it is so I can at least consider it. I said, I'm not saying it's a guarantee to take it, but I said, if it's 2 million, if it's 4 million, whatever the number is, put it in front of me so that I can at least consider it against all these options. And they said, we can't get a number.
They didn't even make an offer to J.J. Watt?
I mean, I don't.
What
like,
year
I don't
is
know
this?
if it
What
was.
year?
This was 2020. This is right before I went to Arizona. It was 2021.
Oh, so you're still playing football?
2020.
You were still.
You should have kicked the door down, went in there.
Yeah, like
This is my free, my real free agency.
Yeah.
Like I said, we went. You go through the list of everything on what you want to do, where would you like to go, what are you looking for? And I said the ideal situation for me would be to go play for the Green Bay Packers. That's where I grew up. I watched Reggie White. That would be incredible. I said I'll take a significant hometown discount to play there. And I said, but I just need to know what that looks like so I can at least consider it against all options. And I was not given a number to consider.
Oh my gosh, Jage. Now, that might have been your agent saying, we're not telling this guy this small of a number because obviously that affects what number we're getting in this entire thing. And there has been stories of agents potentially not telling people things so they can guide them in a different direction. So we're not 100% sure. You would know better than us.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
But what it sounds like right now,
what
it sounds like right now is that the Green Bay Packers said, who? Yeah, see ya. And just kind of moved along with J.J. Watt. That's awesome to hear right now.
I didn't do that.
I can tell you without question right now, I can tell you that $5 million would have gotten it done.
How much did you end up taking? How much did you end up taking? How much did you end up taking?
I think like 15.
God damn, they would have done that. We consider it one more time. $5 million now. We'll say 7.5. We'll say we'll give you a 50% bump.
Yeah, you still got that log cabin up there? You still got that log cabin up there? Maybe we can move back in and go on a playoff run. Jage, we appreciate the hell out of you, man. You're the greatest. Genuinely, you are the best. You're too good at football to be as good of a human, an actual human that you are. It really doesn't make any sense. And then we see that your hair is also flawless as well. Pretty outrageous. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys very much. It's a blast every single week. I hope you guys have a lot of fun at Kyle Field. That'll be awesome. But seriously, this show is so much fun every single week. I know I tell you all the time, but I really, really appreciate it. Your fans are awesome. It's great to get mentions from them all the time, and you guys are the best.
Our fans, brother, you're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, J.J. Watt. He's awesome.
Great on the call, too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Good vibe while watching, no matter what's
That's
happening.
fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, point out the good in the game. Yeah, there's good stuff.
Remember how Ball Time's going. Remember, I know we're getting to a break. Remember he filmed Ball Time. That's got to come out soon.
Ball Town.
Oh, yeah.
Ball Time, I thought.
I thought it was Balls Time. Well, we'll figure it out whenever it
Either
comes.
way, great promo. Great tease.
Yeah, because we remember it still. All right.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow. That was our best.
That was our best. That was one of the best ones ever.
I don't know why I had to bring it up with 20 seconds to go, but yeah.
Yeah, but then again, at 10 seconds.
I wanted to ask him about it. It's Ball Time.
I thought it was
Call him back. Can you call him back, please? I think it's Balls Town.
I thought it
Remember,
because it was different.
No, it's neither. I think it's neither. You pluralize the balls and you change the time. But I think he filmed I thought he had a whole season in the can. I just want to see when it comes out.
Me too, bro. We're thinking the same. We're thinking the same thing. I forgot it existed, and then you brought it up.
Balls Town. Okay.
Yes.
Balls Town.
That's about all. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of Balls Town, we think, J.J. Watt. What was the name of that show thing that you recorded? You remember?
What's that now?
Ballstown?
Balltown? Yeah, it never happened. Didn't come to fruition.
What?
Lesson learned. Don't speak.
You
don't
filmed a
speak
few,
before
right?
you- Yes. Yeah, we filmed a pilot. We filmed some stuff.
Who owns the footage? Who owns the footage?
Yeah.
It's a cartoon. It's a cartoon.
Is it? What do you mean? Is it? Who owns it though?
I mean, I would imagine that I still own a portion of it.
Oh, so it's not over yet. It's not over yet. Okay, so just if you know, there might be some people that would be interested in purchasing the
Did you
rights.
voice
to
the
Ballstown.
characters or something? How's that? If it's
I did.
animated,
Yeah,
it's cartoon.
yeah, it's animated. So I voiced the character. I love the concept. I really love the concept. It's literally, it's kind of like Cars, but for sports. Like the balls can talk, all different balls. Like you'd have a golfer
Larry the Cable
voicing
Guy?
over the golf ball. You'd have a basketball star voicing over the basketball. You have me voicing over the football. It's really cool.
So, yeah, sounds really cool. What, you watched it and you hated it?
No, I liked it. It was a very interesting time back when we were shopping it, like with streaming and the amount of shows and everything, and just what would be required to make it happen didn't happen.
Say no more, my friend. Sounds like this Ballstown still awaiting a release date, but it is still.
How did this come up? I didn't. I got off, and you guys started talking about Balltown.
AJ said, I wanted to ask him about ball time, is what he said. And then we said, no, I think it's Ballstown. And then we forgot all about it, though. But it needs to not be forgotten.
Yeah.
That thing needs to be.
Yeah.
That's good for
Yeah,
sport.
I talked about that one a little too early. I brought that, like, I've learned that you can't bring things up that early. It's a life lesson.
No.
It's all right.
No. That's still alive. I want to see that.
Hey, are you going to Kyle Field?
I will be there, yeah. It's going to be sweet. I've never been there.
It's a great place. I mean, obviously, Ohio Stadium is an awesome place. The thing that separates it for me is how close to the field. Like the Ohio Stadium has that one end zone that's real deep back behind that flagpole. I just love how this one is just everything on top of you.
I appreciate the fact that you pointed out, instead of making it wider for concerts and anything else that they could potentially profit off of the stadium for, they decided to make it strictly for the environment to be as hard as possible and a home field advantage, which you respect, which we also respect, and we will bring that up whenever we're certainly talking about it. We need to save Balltown. For the good of sport.
Yeah.
This needs to happen. Sports need to.
All right, what do we got here? There's some angle here.
No,
what's
there's
happening?
no angle.
Something.
Literally,
There's
AJ
an
kind of
angle.
ruined the exit off of ESPN completely because you brought up
I
Balltown.
remember. You brought it up like 6 months ago, I believe. Is it animated so you could say like controversial things to get away with it? Is that why you did that? That's why people do that.
What's happening here?
Cartoons can say whatever they want.
Yeah, I guess we don't know what the context of the. Wow.
You can say whatever you want on SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, what do you mean?
No, Family Guy though, and
Kids
South
show.
Park.
That's why it's animated.
F is for family.
And also Jeff Dunham, the
ventriloquist.
ventriloquist. It's
Yeah.
not me. It's terrible what this person's saying over here. You know, it's a good little play by comedians, which we respect. And AJ was wondering if that's what you guys were doing with this particular one, so you can kind of
This is
let
the
some
children's
jokes
show.
fly.
I picture it like Recess. I loved the show Recess growing up. I liked Recess. I thought it was a great one. Hey Arnold, some of those. My
Daria.
son watched Jingle All the Way
Dahn.
the other night. Not animated, but just underrated Christmas movie.
Okay, let's make sure Ballstown is not dead.
How's your dog, by the way? I got to ask you because I saw your post the other day where he was just chomping at the food bin. Love the attitude of this new dog that we've got.
Yeah, hungry dog. This is a hungry dog all the time. This dog is supposed to be, I think, grazing plains with cattle or any other animal. Horses. I've heard these things herd horses. Okay, so horses can really run, and horses are really tall. So to be able to herd said things, you would assume would have to have respect for the stature of said dog, which I think we're nowhere near the end of where this thing is headed towards, with the size of its mitts versus the size of its entire thing. And
How'd you get it?
Hamilton County Humane Society. Hamilton County Humane Society, was sitting there staring through the picture. with its ear, which he still does, ears back, just did something that was catastrophic to the house. Comes, sits over, I'm so sorry, I just have too much energy. His tail's just going, what do you want from me, dude? This is just who I am so sorry. And then go down on the back, and then you start petting him, and he gets super excited, so he pees on you. And obviously, whenever he's peeing, his bladder's gigantic. So it's just your entire arm is just now getting blasted with piss while he's peeing on himself. So now he's got pee on himself and on his shirt. So then he gets up, and you go back to your room, because you need to take off the piss shirt that you have on now, because you would like to hold your child, but you don't want to lay in piss. So as you head back to the bedroom, you notice that the dog actually jumped 45 feet and landed on the bed, which is cool that it landed on the bed, but you remember that it just pissed all over itself. So now he's laying on the bed, taking up the whole thing. He's kind of cutting that thing. You know how sandwiches can be cut diagonal? Mm-hmm. So on the bed, he's diagonal, and he's tip to tip, from that. He's taking up the whole thing. So it's really but then he gets down again. He goes, I didn't know. How could you expect me to know? It was so comfortable. It was so nice. I was in a fucking bin just a couple weeks ago. And then sprints in, then he's back. It's like, he's a good dog. It's a great dog. You can tell good dog, good natured, but boy, big.
What's the plan for exercising this thing that normally runs with horses?
So electric fence we're putting in. Okay, we got property out here in Indiana, which is good news. But also there's like a foot of snow down. So it's tough to get in anything, because this was kind of spur of the moment decision to just have to get this dog within the next day too. So there wasn't.
Yeah, look at that guy.
Wasn't a lot of.
Give me that damn food. Jeez. Give me that damn food.
Yeah, and he dragged.
Does he chew on stuff? Does he eat pillows and stuff or mess the stuff up?
No, doesn't do any of that.
Oh, then you're good. You're all right.
He just he gets excited and pees and has so much energy, and he's always hungry. Like he will always want to eat, and I think it's because he has to grow. But we'll feed him. Like I'll feed him to like what you think will make him happy. And then you put the food away, and then all of a sudden, no, we're in the vicinity of food. I need it. And he'll actually head nod at this point.
Don't chuck him, man. Don't you dare chuck this guy.
He can't. They can't. He literally can't. I have to run sprints in-house with this thing at night to try to just get it to stop. So he's going to end up turning me into a much better fit person, but also I'm going to have to add completely a daily routine of running.
Connor, take him on your morning jogs every day.
That's not a bad idea.
Guys, you two go on your daily jog together.
It's not a bad idea.
I got some messages from somebody that lives in my neighborhood that says, I got one of those similar dogs. I ran it for 7 miles today. I think it still wants to go out for another one. So what I'm worrying is the more I work out this dog, I think we're just creating a turbo man of sorts, if you will. And I potentially am about to get run out of the gym by this dog no matter what I do. It's a never-ending chase to get this dog tired. And from what I've been told by people that have these dogs is, this fucker ain't ever tired. That's why this.
Yeah, you don't expend enough energy as it is. You definitely need more energy expenditure on your plate.
Yep, and that's what we got with Blue. That's what we got.
Are you guys going to the Friday night yell lead?
We are. And that's what you were talking about?
My God. I cannot wait to just take that content into my eyeballs.
Us experiencing it is what you're saying?
Yes. I am very excited to experience you experiencing it.
Yeah, I think what Jage is excited for.
AJ, can we get you in some overalls?
I was trying to ask you this. I don't know a whole lot about it. I wanted you to describe. I'm not sure what it is. I've seen a couple videos online, but I'm not sure if they were real or not, to be truthful.
I believe there are either painted or bedazzled overalls involved.
Painted. Please.
There is a lot of...
this is awesome.
That's the final call. Yeah, that's the final hand signal. But they do a lot of, that's them sawing off the longhorn. Okay, that's them acting like a saw right there. And that's why they're singing. And that's to cut off the horns of the longhorn because they hate Texas. They don't.
It's like that part is awesome. It's like this weird juxtaposition of all right, that was weird, but that was awesome. It's like that girl who was on, she's like, huh?
Oh, that's good.
It's good, man.
That's good. We just got another one, too, right there of J.J. Watt. Somebody ripped that. I can't wait to respond to somebody when they say something stupid. I'm just going to drop J.J. Watt in there. What's that? Conflicted J.J. Watt. What an absolute stud. I know what you were talking about, though, because a lot of people do judge Texas A&M people. And you said self-admittedly. I do think they all say, we do stuff different down here. That is way, but they're all in. So that makes it
They
cool.
wear those rings, too. They all get rings, and that is a real thing. I mean, being in Houston, they have an Aggie ring, and you wear your Aggie ring. It's not like a Jostens High School ring where you put it away forever. I think they just wear it full time. I think, I don't know which finger it goes on. It actually might be. Yeah, on your finger. Like they wear an Aggie ring. That is a real thing. You'll see it like out at dinner. They'll be like, Aggie. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah, look at this ring.
If it was just pinky rings only and they called themselves the Texas A&M Dons, and then every time they saw each other, they pinky to pinky with that'd be a pretty cool little thing. Let's try to get one of these Dawn rings this weekend. Let's earn one this weekend with our yelling. Let's do that. There it is. Is that the ring?
Great research. Super speed, guys. Really good job back there.
Good pull, Bruce. Good pull, Bruce. Is there any other information on this website here about this, Bruce?
Yeah, is it like an alumni ring, or is this when you're a current student?
When you graduate. No, when you graduate, you get the ring.
The Aggie ring. One of the greatest moments for an Aggie is the day they receive their Aggie ring. As the most visible sign of the Aggie network, the Aggie ring is a unique representation of achievement, as it can only be ordered when a student completes specific academic. Well, we got no shop, boys. All right. Well, congrats to all of them. Congrats to all of them. All right, James, you're the man. Have a great weekend. And let's bring Ballstown back. It's not dead if it never started, right? It just hasn't started yet.
Yeah, true.
It had to be terrible, right? Is that why it did? Like,
it's so bad.
It's cartoon and it's J.J. Watt. You would think that would get sold pretty quickly.
You would think that. I mean, he did say something along. Maybe it was like, "We love this. We want 9 seasons and 100 episodes of this." And he was like, "Oh, that's. I don't know if I want to
sign up for that."
Yeah.
So maybe us bringing it up almost put him back into like, oh no, you just helped the people who are telling me that we should do this. They got a little bit more leverage now because there is a demand for it, because AJ Hawk remembered it with 20 seconds left in the show, which is a good thing, because I think sports, one of those would be good for kids.
My kids would love it, yeah. I've been meaning to ask him for like 8 weeks. I just never thought to bring it up till right then, for real. Maybe 12 weeks probably. I've been meaning to ask.
I'm happy we got hey, it's a big day today.
Yeah, I got off for mine.
We should get you an Aggie ring to celebrate the achievement of getting it done. I can't wait to get down there. And obviously, you said I've seen some videos. I don't know if they're real or not. I do think they are real, and
that's an honest statement I made.
I know, and I think we were all thinking the same thing when we saw them. We're like, nope, can't be. That's not how it is. But then you get down there and you think, oh, everybody that's ever been here is all bought in on this. And then you start thinking about other people's, what do they do as their traditions and everything like that. And it's like, oh, this is just how they go about doing their shit. But what I do know is it provides an electric environment for College game day every time we've been down there. It's been awesome. I assume every game that happens down there is awesome.
Yeah.
And now they got a team in the playoff. It's going to be absurd down there.
So it's at midnight. This goes on for how long?
The yell?
Yeah.
We've never been. I have no idea.
But, like, do they go home and then come back, get some sleep, and then come back for the game?
From my understanding, because I've been down there and I walked around town, and Gumpy, remind me if I'm wrong here, there was people camping out of the stadium to get into the stadium overnight. So, but not everybody that goes into the midnight yell could camp out at the stadium, because I think they're filling that thing up with like 50,000, 40,000 people at midnight, the night before games. I think. Is it exactly at midnight? Is it around midnight? How long it is? We don't really know any of those things. We just know that we were asked if we wanted to come see it, and that was an immediate, yep, can't wait to see that. I'm excited for it. But a midnight pep rally is crazy to think about, the night before every home game.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of commitment, which once again goes to they do things that nobody else does, but everybody's all in, which makes it a cool experience, kind of JJ's point.
Yeah, when we were there, it started at like 11:30. They started letting people in. I'm not sure if they actually kick it off at midnight, because there's 40,000, 50,000 people literally lined up around the stadium to get into this place. And then some of them were camping out just around where game day was. They had those kind of pockets, not trailers, but like there were little tents around. I'm not sure if they're actually camped for the game, but they were camped for game day. Like, and they had their own little like areas, tents, kind of similar to Bama, how Bama had like a tent set up behind game day, but I'm not sure if it's exactly the same. But yeah, I mean, they start letting people in, and I mean, they might not be able to get it going by midnight just because so many people are lined up and they got to get everyone in.
It's a wild thing to witness, because it's like these people are not just fans of their team. It's like they are so committed. So whenever a win happens, it's like it was all worth it. You know, it's like the highs and the lows, whenever you're that fully committed to something, are more. So I think that's why the environment is created to be what it is, because it's like a very big investment to be a fan down there.
They definitely have great fans. We played them in my junior year. We played them in a bowl game, in the Alamo Bowl, which was in Texas. So they traveled well to that game, and we did a pep rally, and they did like a miniature version of that. And I was like, oh, I mean, that was pretty intense with 3,000.
And you guys have a good cult yourselves.
We had a great fall. It was a great game, and we filled up the Alamo Dome. It was a great game.
That was for a bowl game?
It was a bowl game. They had Von Miller, Michael Bennett, Red Bryant on their defensive line. I mean, they were good.
Nobody cares about these bowl games anymore, and I'm about done with that.
Yeah.
We need to bring back the...
It doesn't matter.
No.
Good luck.
I mean, this
all the bowl games need to matter. It's a bonus game for these boys.
It's dead, right?
We got
No,
2
they're
CFP
dead.
games that don't fucking matter. Because of these stupid fucking little schools. They need to get rid of all that shit. Fucking done.
At least we got college football.
What about the bonus games that the boys worked hard for all season?
Absolutely. They should turn them into high school showcase games because all the good players from these teams don't play. And then all the players who are still on the team probably won't even be on the team next year because they're going to transfer.
And that bowl game provides another spotlight on a player to potentially transfer, or for a team's coach to potentially move, or for the team to look like their ass in a grander stage. But it's always for the gamblers. Isn't that always the thing? Like, well, bowl season will always exist because it always does ratings, and it will always have a lot of people invested because of the gambling. Let's go to one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys in Hammer Dahn Todd AP Tone. I haven't heard much about bowl season gambling or even watching habits like the last 2 years basically, right? Have you? Is there going to be what is kind of the convo of the change in perspective or change in, I guess, relevance of entire bowl season? What does it look like? Are they going to get...
I don't think it's as far as gambling is concerned, I don't think the bowl season is affected at all. People are going to bet on it because it's a game and it's happening and it's on TV. And also people are going to do the same thing, mostly watching it. I assume the numbers are going to be down as far as watching it because, yes, the games don't matter as much. And eventually bowl season will probably end and die, especially once the college football playoff expands. But, that's fine. I mean, it was great while it lasted.
I'm a Gator Bowl champ.
Good run.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm a Meineke Car Care Bowl champ.
There you go.
Go Bowl.
West Virginia has been multiple-time Mayo Bowl champs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's some Pop-Tart Bowl champs. And today we find out who the Staff DNA Cure Bowl champion will be.
I've been waiting for this one.
Old Dominion at South Florida. South Florida favored by 2.5.
Here's what I mean.
The FBI projection says South Florida should win by about 5.8 points. So you're getting good points on the spread just from the prediction model to what the sports books are saying. And then the 68 Ventures Bowl. This ain't 60 Ventures. This ain't 62. Not even 67. This is 68 Ventures Bowl. Louisiana favored by 3 against Delaware. This is what we're talking about here with bowl season.
Hell yeah.
Don, you're saying people just bet on it because it exists?
Yeah, we had a team ride yesterday on Jack State, everyone in Hammer downtown, and they won because you could still win money off of these games.
Go ahead, boys.
The FBI also doesn't do the research on what quarterbacks and the opt-outs and stuff like that, so I wouldn't trust that FBI much.
Are you guys breaking down bowl season on Hammer?
Every single game. Every single game.
They should do the NIT.
Who, these guys?
No.
Hammer Dahn?
These bowl games, they should just do an NIT type tournament. Like if we're going to do a college football playoff, instead of doing random bowl games every night, do an NIT.
It's not a bad idea.
That's more shitty bowl games.
No,
they're playing for the fucking
matters.
It's less.
We are the not real champions.
Same guys could opt out.
There's a national
Or still
champions.
are opting out.
Then there's the not real
You
champions.
can have a New Year's
multiples.
Six bowl. You can end it on January
No, a
2nd.
rotating basis.
Yeah.
It's a part of the.
But I mean, now the New Year's Six, we only have 2 New Year's Six bowls?
You're telling me Michigan, Texas doesn't deserve to be in the not actual champion bowl? I think it should be.
Yeah.
Cheez-It Bowl, by the way, always brings it.
Still a great bowl. The ReliaQuest Bowl. It's a marquee bowl still. So, those are the ones that we really can't get rid of. Some of these other bullshit ones, like the 68 Ventures one, we could probably see that.
What about
go
Staff
away.
DNA?
Staff DNA, I've been juiced up for this one for a while because Old Dominion's quarterback is very good. So
Great run game.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. That one is obviously everyone's going to be looking towards that. But
Byron Brown's not playing.
No, he's not.
Who isn't? Who's Byron Brown?
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Boom.
South Florida.
Boom.
That's South Florida. I'm talking about Old Dominion.
Old Dominion run game, unbelievable.
Oh, it's Tone. It sounds like you're heavy on Old Dominion right now. Let's not tell too many people about what's happening with South Florida.
Old Dominion's quarterback is also not playing because he's going to be one of the higher quarterbacks in the transfer portal. But their backup quarterback played in the last game last year, ran for over 200 yards. So yeah, maybe I am high on Old Dominion. I don't know. And their coach isn't leaving.
So you're saying shh.
Who had the idea to have the bowl games at the beginning of the season? I think that was the best idea.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, start the season out. Kind of how college basketball does
Sick.
with some of the, Big Ten versus AC or whoever. Just start out first. Like if Texas and Ohio State had a bowl game to start the season out, okay, then that way the bowl games are still significant. You still get the sponsor, you still get the money. Everybody cares. All the players play. You got your coaches.
Doesn't count towards the regular season. You just call yourself the champion going into the season.
It'll help with rankings going into the rest of the season.
And you'll be forced into playing a big game as opposed to being scared to playing
No
one.
week zero.
And if it gets understood like, hey, this is not your actual record, this is literally just bowl game, you go into the season as this bowl champion. Then you can get the big names in these shitty bowls.
Exactly.
That's a good idea. I had not heard that.
So it's like a preseason.
No, it's like qualies in F1.
It's like the Maui Invitational in basketball.
That's a good comparison, man. Good comparison.
It is like the qualies, I guess. It is like the Maui Invitational. It is like a preseason, but it's basically a bowl game, a big significance. And then you go off the rankings off of that.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a good idea.
I don't know who to give credit to, but it was somebody with.
Man, imagine the Mayo Bowl, Ohio State taking on Oregon. Okay, I'm sorry. It would have to be an SEC school. It wouldn't be Ohio State versus Oregon. Sorry, I apologize for getting that wrong.
Ohio State and LSU.
Oh, in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Yeah, bingo.
Oh, my God.
Notre Dame still just skate on by, not play anybody, just get their ranking from everybody else.
No.
Probably.
They would have to play.
Syracuse.
It would be in the Notre Dame Bowl.
Navy.
They'd be in the Notre Dame Bowl. Notre Dame people would be like, yeah, we can pay for something to be named after us? Yeah, we'll do that. The Notre Dame Bowl will take on
Old Dominion. Bring them in.
All right. That's not the reality of what their schedule is.
Good run game.
Yeah, exactly.
Backup quarterback went for 200 last year in the last game. All right, let's get to a break. We are the worst. We know. We apologize. But some of this shit I'm so confused by. I turned on Washington Boise State the other night after the Heisman. They were playing a bowl game.
Yeah, the LA Bowl.
Banger.
Wait, there's
Washington
college
kicked the
football
shit
this
out of them.
weekend?
All right.
Oh.
That was the LA Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched
That was
it.
another one.
It wasn't the only game. There's a lot of games.
The first ever Xbox Bowl is tomorrow night.
Okay. Now I will dial
They gave
it up
them
for
all
that.
Xbox. It's pretty cool.
I think that is pretty cool that Xbox decided now to be in the bowl game. Wasn't it the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, right?
Yes, yeah.
Sony.
That's what we played.
Bowl gifts were the best. I got to admit, bowl gifts when we were in college was the best.
The kids realizing they all got Xboxes was actually awesome. I want to watch because of that.
Xbox Bowl was Missouri State versus Arkansas State. You know, the Red Wolves, how they're favored by 1.5. They're all getting Xboxes, but you go to Myrtle Beach, you actually get an opportunity to go down to Senor Frogs and have a team meeting. And
Yes, you do.
that is worth way more than an Xbox. If you've lived it, you know it. Shout out to Senor Frogs.
11 a.m. kick.
In Myrtle Beach?
Yeah.
That's going to be tough to get to. That's going to be tough. Myrtle Beach is a good time place. That's what that is. That Senor Frogs was awesome.
Man, are we sure we don't
had a
want
time
to
down there?
We did.
We had a time.
Should we do the simulcast on Friday
From Senor Frogs.
at 11 instead?
Should.
I'll tell you, that place was awesome. I've never been to a more hospitable place, a better time for a short period of time. Okay, I was there for like 3 days for one of my college friends was having his bachelor party down there. Okay, we go down there and we just do Myrtle Beach. We have an Airbnb on the beach, which is obviously awesome. It's Myrtle Beach, so it's spectacular. It is a hilarious scene. And then boom, we went down to that little area of bars. I don't know, it's their version of the South Side. It's a good little hangout town. There's live music. It's good. It's pretty good. A lot of golfing down there as well. And we ended up at Senor Frogs every night, just the whole time. And I was having a good time. I had a lot of money. Too much money. Should not have had the money that I had. And I'm just buying shots for literally everybody in that place. From the first moment I get there till the last moment we leave. I was calling them team meetings. Team meeting, everybody. And it kind of got on. We go back 2 years later, I think, for AQs. Same exact setup. House on the beach. Awesome. Spectacular. We go to Senor Frogs. I walk in there. Manager guy who's still there. Eyes light up. And he goes, team meeting. And I'm like, yes, actually. And we do another damage. I'm talking 3 days down there. And I think I did it one more time, too, with somebody else, and it was like team meeting. It's like, yes,
Didn't you get poached from a Senor Frogs when you're on a cruise and you went to a party after?
Yeah, and I missed the boat. I had to catch the boat at the next one. Yeah, Senor Frogs gets me, dude. Senor Frogs, everybody knows what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Senor Frogs always a good time.
Great place.
Great place.
Team meeting was real, though.
Oh, yeah. We had a time.
There could have been a little bit of an altercation at a place, too, and because of our relationship with Senor Frogs, the people that I would say lost the physical battle as well also were told that they could never come back for the rest of the weekend because everybody's there for the weekend, golfing, doing whatever they got going on. So it's literally like a new group every single weekend. So I would like to let the Senor Frogs people, they might still be there. I have no idea. Same crew might still be running that place. Just know you guys do a great job. And we have, I'll say this for AQ and I can say this amongst the others, we have gotten drunk in a lot of places around this world. And the Myrtle Beach one,
as good as they come.
One of the greatest in the history. I mean, we had a blast down there. Myrtle Beach Bowl, that's what we're talking about, though. Ohio State, LSU, Myrtle Beach Bowl.
At Myrtle.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't know if we get that
that's what, this, you don't think so? When
they're back?
Is this year?
I know Marty McGee, a big part of their deal is they go down the boardwalk. You know, they get the airbrush T-shirts, they do the saltwater taffy, and then they call the game. So I'm hoping it's again this year.
I don't like that there's nobody in the crowd. Okay, need to change that around. 11 a.m.
That's Senor Frogs. They're watching the game from there.
They'll get there.
Yep.
They got a good Senor Frogs there. Good little deck on the back, on the outside, too.
See?
That might be it right there.
There they are. The airbrush T-shirts, saltwater taffy.
Let's get to a break. What we're saying is more football is good football, but if the football is shit football, it's okay for the good of football to not have that football. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. We'll see you on the other side. Take 5.
Bye.
I'm all the way in Eugene, smoking on some new green, changing up the routine, gratitude truly, feel like new school dean, life's pretty cool, G3 jobs, fuel means tank top, blue jeans, never change, crew needs, deep shots, view screens, movie star, 2 scenes, bank account juicy, cancel to me, boogeyman spooky, folks watch, who sees hating folks dookie, yeah, you waiting for. Yeah, you waiting for dookie, yeah, you waiting for dookie, yeah, I'm up here in Eugene, smoking on some new green, checking out some new scenes, and you waiting for dookie. Is my guy here named?
Ben Guyman,
What is your major?
psychology.
Okay, you're a psychology major. You're a deep thinker, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is that going to help or hurt you today, you think?
Maybe hurt a little.
Okay, well, I want to let you know, psychology-wise, you should know that there is a radiant energy of positivity right to your left. Jelly Roll will be here helping out. So Jelly Roll said, Pat, I want to try to win hundreds of thousands of dollars for a charity in Athens. I want to kick a ball for $100,000 to give back to this community that is embracing him as a part of it.
And I think I'm fixing to split the upright.
Okay, how much weight have you lost now?
I've lost 250 pounds for this moment, Georgia. I'm fixing to do it.
All right, Ben. The kick is currently $100,000 for you. If he makes it, it'll go up to $250,000. We will also donate $100,000 to a local charity. Jelly Roll.
And I will match that $100,000, so $200,000 to a local charity, baby.
Let's go, Jelly Roll. Let's go, Jelly Roll. Let's go, Jelly Roll. Okay. Herbie will also toss in $100,000 to charity, which is very kind of him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
$300,000 for charity. Dogs! How about Sicko? All right.
I was worried for my tongue. All right, what can I do different, Pat?
I think you could try to aim to the right if I were you.
Okay, good.
Or if you knew somebody that was a very good kicker, I think now would be a great time to just go ahead and say, hey, why don't you do that for me?
You know what?
Why don't you raise some money for the city?
I'll make another 100,000. We'll make it 300,000 to local charity. Okay. If you'll let me pick up the legendary Hot Rod from Georgia back here, baby. My boy, Hot Rod is in the house today.
Hot Rod, it's great to see you. You look fantastic. Thank you for your service to the Colts. Can't wait to see you back in the NFL. Okay, so he'll put up, how much you put up, Joe?
$200,000 for a charity right here in Georgia, Georgia.
I'll put up $200,000 as well. Woo! Kirk will put up $200,000. We got a $600,000 donation, and Ben's kick will be worth $400,000. This could be $1 million here.
Whoa!
33 yards. Hot Rod, potentially $1 million on the line. $1 million!
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby!
Still got it. Still got it. Thank you, Hot Rod. This is very expensive.
Ben!
Oh! Back to you, Luis! Back to you, Luis! During commercial break, there was no way we were going to be able to get out of that lawn out there without giving him another shot. $100,000, he knocks it through. Pump for Ben. Thankful for Hot Rod.
That's so stupid. That's crazy. And also take us off the fucking team. We do not deserve to do that.
They all commit and love what's going on in that weight room. They all commit and love what Jim Harbaugh's preaching. And everybody in the building's happy. Everybody's like excited to be there.
First row, our pressure in the first row. Second row is on here.
It is infectious what they got going on. And how many owners are spending $300 million on a new facility just for a practice facility?
This is Butler Birdies. Wow!
Oh my God! Oh shit! In the bunker.
Great shot. But then for them to do it upright for the last couple, it's like, look out for the Chargers, dude. Look out for the Chargers.
Coach. Hey, we got a gift for you. Here we go. Okay, so we missed your birthday, we missed Christmas. We couldn't
Whoa, look at that.
Your perspective on high five is one of the greatest things we've ever seen.
So long time created Ben.
I love the high five. Yeah, give each other a high five.
Boom!
Bam!
Boom!
Bam!
Boom! Boom!
Oh my God!
Wow! Boom!
So we wanted to make you basically something that you could high five. My dad made this.
Oh wow! He is talented.
Yeah, boom.
Look at that feeling.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, boom, boom. And we tested it. I think you can get a pretty good pop if you need. Yeah, boom.
That is incredible.
Obviously, national champion, Michigan man, and greatest high five.
Yeah.
Because of what you brought for the high five world.
Oh yeah.
He tried to give a handshake to that particular high five trophy. Did break the hand off. We had to put it back on.
Way to go, handshake.
Oh no! Oh no!
There we go.
We have so much respect for you.
You guys just roll deep. This would be entourage level, wouldn't it?
To be honest, we didn't know we were going to be able to get 11 people in here, and then we pulled up and said, you have 11. That's where it should be.
Should roll 11.
Yeah. Always start 11. You're right. You're the best. I mean, wow, it looks like a lot of highlights against one particular team.
They played more than one game. Why did they have all these TDs for one game?
Imposing our will.
This sucks.
Party in the backfield. No one. We mean no one. Outbeats the Hutton. This might be close.
I love that Chargers team even more now.
Young people all across this country, if you served in the military, we want you to know that when you get out of the military, no matter how long you serve, there are veterans benefits that you've earned. Make sure that you find out about those. They can help you get started with a new home. They can help you get started in business. They can send you to school or get vocational training. Look, This isn't about the old stuffy VA that you heard about from your relatives, your parents. This is about a VA that's focused on one thing and one thing only. That's our veteran. So you know that you're out there. We love you. We support you. This secretary wants you to know these benefits are for you. Don't let them for somebody else. They're there for you and the service that you did. You raised your right hand. Now let us raise our hand and serve you. Pat, y'all have a great day down there.
We have a great Texas boy named John. Okay, what's your last name, John?
John Mactoff.
Have you ever kicked a ball before?
I have.
When?
Growing up, I played soccer. In high school, I kicked kickoffs and onsides.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
All right, so I've never met anybody that just kicked kickoffs and onsides. Does that mean because you couldn't hit the broadside of the barn with the football?
So my junior year, I missed an extra point. We lost to the state champs by 1, and I was removed.
Oh. Redemption comes today for you, John. Here's the deal. Redemption is obviously sweet.
And look at here. He's taking his shoes off.
Okay, we're going barefoot. Okay, we got the Texas Tech Red Raiders cheerleader squad, which I believe is the best in the country as well. We got finger guns all over the place. We got phones everywhere trying to witness this moment that you will remember forever. Your kicking story doesn't have to end with a missed extra point, brother. It can end with one kick for $500,000.
I mean, just
$500,000 here in Lubbock, Texas. $500,000, John. One shot. Redemption is sweet. Oh. All right. That's not fun. That is not how I thought this was going to go.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Johnny deserves one more shot at a Wichita.
John. No.
New ball. We got a new ball.
Yeah, but if you don't stand for...
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Hour 3 of the program begins right now. Football is magical. That's AJ Hawk. I like that. Talks to tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, which we will see in a matter of moments. And 12-year NFL vet, Super Bowl champion AQ Shipley is here. AQ, it's Wednesday, which means it's time to learn which offensive lines were good, which offensive lines were bad. Let's go to the top 5 performing offensive lines of Week 15 in the trenches with AQ Shipley. Who's the number 5 performing offensive line? The Rams. Congratulations to the number 1 team in the NFC.
I love this group right now, and I love the two-headed monster they have with Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, but their offensive line has been fantastic. Great in pass pro, great in the run game. Simple outside zone play here to the right. I love this pull around by the center. You cut the defense, you get that, and then all of a sudden there goes Kyron Williams. 70-plus yards for him, 70-plus yards for Blake Corum each of the last couple weeks.
So I think what the Rams wanted to do initially is just punch the Lions in the mouth, okay? And they walked right down and right through this Detroit Lions team. But it's not just the Lions they were able to do it. It seems like they do it to a lot of teams. McVay's team, Stafford, MVP favorite, they are not scared to pound the rock, though.
No, and he does a great job. I think he takes a look at what the defense is doing on the first drive of the game. Like last week against the Cardinals, they come out and they go dime because they think the Rams are just going to throw the ball all over the yard. They come out and dime, he just starts pounding the rock, and they just, boom, 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards, boom, break one, and then all of a sudden you get a touchdown. So
and then against the Lions.
Do the same thing. Basically do the same thing.
Wow, Foxy, it's tough times. This year you're on the receiving end of that. And Matthew Stafford always going to have a little bit of spite towards the Detroit Lions with how that all went down.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, everyone's talking about Stafford, Puka, Devontae in that game. The run game impressed me more than anything. The Lions all year long have been really good against the run, except for in that game right there, which proves how good the Rams really are.
The Lions, too, are just like the Chargers. Like, they're always snake bit by injury. It feels like that. It's too much to overcome against, the teams like the Rams who are at the top of the league.
Who's the number 4 performing offensive line from Week 15?
The Philadelphia Eagles are back in the mix.
Wow. Way to go. Everything's up and to the right, 31 zip.
Yeah, big shout out to Fred Johnson. He's been filling in for Lane Johnson very admirably. But here's why I wanted to put this play on. Could have shown a bunch of other runs, but this is why. Their empty run package has been one of the best over the years. If you remember back to when Jason Kelsey was there, they would do the draw. They would do all the different things out of empty. They got back to it a little bit this week. Jalen Hurts hasn't run it very much, but here you go. You get the empty package, you get the draw, get him out in space. This is what they need to do moving forward towards the playoffs.
3rd and 12 here, so obviously the Raiders want to drop everybody. That's why they don't have that's why they have a massive hole on the defensive line right in front of where the quarterback is. They were looking for an obvious pass situation.
100%. They think it's pass, but again, this is what they can do, and this is what Jalen Hurts can do. But also, if you guys haven't noticed, the Raiders have been on the receiving end of this almost every week all season long.
So bad.
Yeah. Not good.
So bad.
I thought because Tom Brady's there.
You just got to give Pete some time to get his guys in there.
Well, he had his guys. He fired them all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
New guys, though. His second batch is always his best batch.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
He's gone.
We assume.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what are they?
Well, I mean, there's a guy. There's a guy they might get at the top of the draft that might turn that whole entire place around.
Oh, Mendoza's so good at football.
He's got power. I mean, we talked about Mahomes and Kelsey. Like, all the Raiders need is a quarterback for that Brock Bowers fella. With Ginty.
They need 5 guys up front, period.
Allegedly, the rookie they just put in is really, really good, and the O-line coach has been holding him back the whole entire year, and I don't even want to go into
the
the
third-round pick. Yeah, he's done a good job, and Colton Miller's their best offensive lineman. He's been out for injury, so maybe not 5, maybe 3. But
Chicago did that one offseason.
Go get 3, just like Chicago.
Patriots did as well.
Yeah, Tom Brady obviously is around there, so we assume sound decisions will be made, but they've struck out on everything they did this year. I mean, that is a clean sweep, It's just like with the Jets. Everybody's like, they got a lot of opportunity to make the right decision and kind of fix this entire thing next year. It's like, they already picked Justin Fields, didn't they? That didn't work. The owner came out and was like, we don't have a quarterback on the football field. So, I mean, that whole thing. So we assume they'll get it right? We assume Tom Brady will get it right? AJ, is that what we assume?
Yeah, we assume. I guess the question is, how long does it take? I don't know.
No, not getting into it.
What's that?
Got to get your franchise quarterback first, but yeah, you definitely should, finish your thought.
How's what?
Nope.
Looks like it was going to be a good question.
It was going to be very good.
Well, I was just going to say, I assume Tom Brady gets it right because that's just what Tom Brady does.
I'm not assuming that anymore.
TB12 went big, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Big into the
No Bull brand, right?
Yep.
So
there's no guarantee. I guess there's no guarantee. I mean, Michael Jordan was the owner of a basketball squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's not playing. He's not coaching. Shit, he's not. I mean, how often is he actually there?
Well, we heard he was pretty
in the off season, and then the season started, and he's got his job with Fox. So it's like, how much is he? I mean, I assume he owns a piece of the team, so he's probably involved to some degree, but he has a full-time job with Fox.
We assume Tom Brady will figure it out. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Whoa! It was a quiet room right there. You didn't say anything. You didn't say.
I want to.
I do too.
To Ty's point, he's not there. If you told me Tom was going to be there every day, 100% he figured it out. But doing this and being a part owner and maybe being there more in the offseason, I don't see it.
This man had his hands inside of your thighs.
Love
AQ
him.
Shipley.
But he's not there during the season. And you got to fix the offensive line. They fix the offensive line, they'll be all right.
And you get Fernando Mendoza. Maybe start saying, who's calling the plays, though? Who's
well, I think that's the biggest thing for me. I think he screwed up hiring Pete Carroll. And
Chip.
That was the big, and Chip. Yeah, that was the staff itself. I think if he gets.
This guy.
Who's that?
The offensive line coach.
Oh, Jesus. I knew you were taking it. That's Pete's son.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
What was that again?
Carroll.
I didn't see him. Oh, there he is.
There he is right there.
What's that? What is that? He's Undertaker?
That's what he was doing the whole interview. You haven't seen this video?
No idea what you're talking about.
Yes, everybody's seen it. Everybody.
I have not seen it.
We talked about it weeks ago.
It feels like you might have had good conversations about this. He's giving.
I think I watched it with Connor.
I don't really watch stuff.
The guy, I'm watching the video down on the small screen. Maybe we did see this a long time ago. It's when he was blinking, but he wasn't really there. You know, it's everybody operates differently on camera.
That's what it looks like. Dwight Schrute's brother.
Yeah, whatever the case, you're saying a whole new O-line is needed.
Yeah, whole new offensive staff, I think, is where we're heading.
And then obviously they get rid of McMahon as well, special teams, whole new operation.
They haven't fired their defensive coordinator yet, even though their defense fucking sucks too. But
31 zip right there, and always ending up on the receiving end of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yep.
They'll figure it out there. Max Crosby's there, and Brock Bowers.
Genty. You got an O-line, you got Genty as well.
They could turn that around, I think. That's a special place. Could be a special
We're saying
place.
a lot of things. Defense, offensive staff, 3-4 new O-linemen, franchise quarterback. I mean, that's one good offseason.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He could do it.
Sure.
Tom Brady could do it if he's more hands-on. Con Man said he believes. I believe in Tom Brady as well. All right, let's go to the number 3 performing offensive line out of Week 15. Houston Texans, I thought they were just a good defense.
They're starting to get better. They're starting to get better on the offensive line. Big Trent Brown playing well. He's about 400 pounds out there. Big number 77 right there at the right tackle.
Hell yeah.
This is old school duo. Best play in football. Watch this hole open up right between center and guard. Look at that thing. Woody Marks. This guy's unbelievable before he got hurt. Scored an unbelievable touchdown on a fake, what do you want to call it? Fake snap. It was a snap, but pretty awesome. But this is the best play in football. All the teams that are going to play in the playoffs are good at this particular play because you get double teams and it's a physical football play.
Yeah, and you got to be able to just move men.
That's
right. You got to be able to move men. This is a powerful football play. This is showcasing what you are, I guess. And we talk about the Raiders always being on this. Feels like the Cardinals also are because AQ sees it live and in person and he goes, wow, this team actually pretty good whenever I'm watching them play against this Cardinals team. Is that potentially the case?
Well,
is it the Cardinals? Because I saw Calais Campbell block a kick, and then I obviously saw them lose by 20 again. But is it the D-line? Is it just or the Houston Texans offensive line is for real against whoever they're playing?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think the Cardinals have really gone downhill in defense the last couple of weeks, so they've been on here, obviously, on the receiving end the last couple of weeks. But I think this Houston Texans team up front has gotten better. They've got the run game going. They like Woody Marks. They released Damian Pierce, who I used to really like as a running back because they like Woody Marks, the rookie running back. And then obviously C.J. Stroud's been really good. They're starting to get rolling right at the right time.
Bless you.
That was from the soul right there. Congratulations on being voted the number 2 local booth in the entire NFL.
Wow. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
It was about 35 different commentary teams that were scored because some teams have a rotating crew that call the local radio version of NFL games. Really, the backbone, I think, of the NFL is the local crew because back in the day, that was the only way you could really follow your team. They were the voice of the team. They told the story of the team in which your town had. Myron Cope, obviously, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is a huge piece of the Pittsburgh Steelers story, but it's also a huge piece of our lives whenever we were growing up, and how he decided to call a game and what he decided to point out was what everybody knew. So you stepping in and doing it in 1 year, and it doesn't matter who's doing the voting and whether or not we have any respect for them as a group, but the fact that there is voting and you end up being second as opposed to anywhere else, you should be incredibly proud of, especially for your first year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
You're not ass.
Try not to be.
I guess there's some real ass teams out there.
Sounds like
from the read up. I guess there's some really terrible stuff. I guess we only hear it in the preseason. Remember, that's a showcase. Preseason is when we're going to find out about you. Because the local teams do a lot of the games. So whenever we're watching preseason games, we hear the local crew. And boy, some of them are fucking terrible. But we're going to have a gift whenever you're on our team.
Well, it's also the hardest time to call games because there's 90 guys on the roster. So you're trying to learn all these names of guys who probably aren't going to be there. It's a little tougher in the preseason.
Effort's never been higher.
Little tougher in the preseason.
That's big, too. NFL, got to know the names. You got to know where they You got to know what city, you got to know that shit.
Yeah, you got to know it inside.
Important context.
Especially if you're the local guy. Like, hey, we are coming to you. You are the one that is supposed to know. So we would like you to know we're proud of you. We're happy for you.
Appreciate it.
And we're happy you're not ass out there.
Thank you.
No problem. Speaking of not ass, who's the number 2 offensive line coming out of Week 15?
Yeah, these next two certainly are. Number 2, the Chicago Bears.
Wow.
Yeah, I really like this group. Obviously, Caleb Williams played fantastic in this game, but the run game is continuing to impress. It starts up front with a Ben Johnson team Let's watch this outside zone here to the right. We're going to send 81 in motion. He serves as the fullback. Let's run that back one more time. Look at big Darnell Wright. He's going to work with Colston Loveland on the combo. He's got a peek inside because that's his backer. Yep, just get a little shoulder on him. Open that big hole. Swift does the rest. See ya. Keep it moving to get in the end zone.
Myles Garrett had 7 sacks, but I understand that the Chicago Bears offensive line is getting better. They invested in it in the offseason, and it's a necessity, right, for this offense that Ben Johnson runs.
Yeah, they've been fantastic. I think Joe Thuney's having as good a year as he's ever had, and he's one of the best to ever do it. I think, obviously, what they've done in bringing in 3 new guys in the middle, and then what Darnell Wright has turned into, in my opinion, he's the best right tackle in football right now.
Ben Johnson's offensive calling and play design help offensive linemen, or how do you think he gets 3 new people to buy in so quickly and gel together?
Yeah, it's very similar to what Shanahan and McVay do. They do such a good job. It's all this right there. You get people to bump, you create new leverage, you get people to bump out of the box, and then you create leverage where everybody's working back. So everything that he does with the window dressing, with the shifts, with the motions, it helps the boys up front. And then you're always working back to a guy instead of working out leveraged to the front side guy.
So maybe the Raiders try to find somebody like Ben Johnson's offense, but is there anybody like Ben Johnson?
Shanahan and McVay are as good as they come, but they're completely different than what Ben Johnson's doing. He's creative, but he also does a fantastic job of setting things up. It's very similar to McVay. And Shanahan does the same thing. So those 3 are
You're saying different style offenses.
Different style offenses, but they all do a great job. If you watch just the film, I mean, you know this, it's different than watching the TV copy, but because now you can get a feel for how they sequence their plays. Mm-hmm. And if you watch it, it's like, oh, okay, play 4, they did this. Play 9, they did this, but that's off of play 4. Then you see play 16, and it was something off of play 4, a little different than 9, got to a different formation, but all of a sudden, on play 15, they got to what they wanted to get to.
So that's Luke Kuechly earlier saying, whenever somebody does something, you have to start thinking like, wait, why did they show us that? They're looking to do something else. These guys do this actively and every single week.
Absolutely. And I think I heard a great quote from Shanahan one time where it said that he's watching the linebackers, and all he's doing is watching the linebackers on all of the runs early. And when he sees the linebackers fully commit to the run, that's when the play action pass comes.
Yeah, we got to wait until we get him on the hook.
Yep.
We got to wait until we get him sucked up, AJ. All they're trying to do is Shanahan was just eyeballing you the whole time, seeing if he got you sucked up or not.
Yeah, he's smart. I tell you what, though, you get a few like good 8, 10, 12-yard runs early in the game, you're going to suck those linebackers up very quick.
Yeah, those long ones get sucked up quick, because you have to respect it.
Jeez.
Have to.
And you used to stick your nose up in there, too, didn't you? I mean, you had to.
I mean, yeah, a good hard run fake will get you sucked up, no question.
And because you don't want another long one coming down. You don't want another one of those. You don't want one of those.
No, you throw your head up in there and you're screwed, man. See ya.
Oh, I didn't even think about getting screwed in this entire thing. Yeah. Jeez, Louise. You're right. I guess one thing leads to another. Who's the number 1 offensive line in Week 15 of the NFL season?
The Buffalo Bills were the number 1.
Bills.
Wow, AFC East reigns supreme.
Fuck, man. Yeah, the interesting thing was New England was right there until they ended up blowing this game because they had a great performance up front as well. But you take a look at this. Remember what we talked about earlier, that duo play? Remember when we watched what the Buffalo Bills did to the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple weeks ago? It was that duo play. Guess what? When push comes to shove and they need something, give it to Cook on the duo play. Look at the boys open up that hole. Osiris Torrance has been fantastic.
Who is that?
Backside guard, David Edwards, great job opening that thing up. Spencer Brown, all the boys up front have been fantastic.
AJ, how's this stoppable? What happens here? Because it feels like there's pretty good thud, pretty good contact. It's just, it works. Go ahead.
Safety's got to make a tough tackle in space to get downhill. But, yeah, you got to you got to find a way to get, I don't know. I mean, they do a decent job building a wall there for the Patriots, but it's, look, safety's got to be down instantly making a play.
Foxy, can you pause it right there? Okay, so
right there.
So if you pause it right there, obviously the hole's front side, and he hits it exactly where he's supposed to hit it. It's a front side A-gap between center and guard play. But here's the thing. If you run this play over and over and over again, then what happens is, see that backside linebacker and the top left of that circle that's holding like this on the backside guard?
Yep.
Well, then they start to get a little bit nosy. They play over the top. Remember a couple weeks ago I said the juiciest cut in football? It's that backside A-gap, B-gap. Right there. And that's what happens. You get them to bite and get nosy over the top, and then boom, you hit it out the backside.
Yeah, but D-Bud, he can't get sucked up there as a safety because then they'll drop one over top of him, right?
It's tough down in the corner if he does that, but you got to show up and be that extra guy, fill that alley, as we call it. But, I mean, it's a one-on-one tackle with James Cook in the open field. And James Cook, would he just get paid $20-something million a year? Like, he's not getting paid that money, or how, not that much, but a bunch of money to break tackles in the open field, so that's what he's going to do.
James Cook is a very good player.
Unbelievable.
Phenomenal.
He's an unbelievable football player.
They got as good a blocking tight ends as they have in the league, too. They drafted Jackson Hawes, who's fantastic. Knox has been fantastic.
Hawes and the Haas.
Yeah, they're great.
Jack.
They've been great.
Congrats to the top 5 performing offensive lines on week 15.
Good football teams.
Those are really good football teams. All those teams very much alive. All those teams can very much win a Lombardi. At this stage, what AQ Shipley's saying is it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. Unless he does what he did last year, which is put the team that has the best offensive line at 1, and then say, well, actually, it's going to be the 4th best offensive line that's going to win it all. And then we're saying, well, why are we judging what the offensive lines are saying then if it's not the 1 and it's going to be the 4? And he said, well, it's not just the offensive line that's playing. It's like, well, that's kind of the entire point of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do, yeah. He put the Eagles
I
at
see what
1,
you're
but
doing.
didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl because you hate Jalen Hurts' guts.
So you couldn't
And
even
he
take the victory lap on you having the Philadelphia Eagles as the best offensive line and winning the Super Bowl because you were contradicting yourself throughout a majority of the season.
It's because I celebrated early when I FaceTimed you guys last year. Stafford was getting ready to drive for the game-winning touchdown, then he got sacked twice. You guys remember that? You guys were all watching.
Yeah, we were in Atlanta.
Yep.
Yeah. I said, here we go. Watch, here it goes.
Jalen Carter.
And then you guys called me back like 2 minutes later, like, what the hell happened?
Did you do that also for a certain college football game?
Yeah, Penn State-Indiana game. Yeah, I was trying to really early celebrate that one.
Yeah, you were. And I think I actually said to you, Mendoza's about to walk down the field.
That's exactly what you said.
And he actually did. It was awesome to watch. I didn't know if the kid had it in him. I didn't know if Mendoza had it in him. 100-some thousand. Okay, still showing up to those games, right?
Yeah.
The cult very much there. Penn State has talent everywhere that could be very good. Could say, oh, maybe they're front runners. They just haven't had to lead a lot, so now they're going to put them away. It's like Mendoza stands there, takes a 7-yard sack, first play. All right, let's rattle it off, boys. You know, I assume that's exactly what Mendoza said. Right back in next play, and then he delivers in crunch time, which would then go on to lead to be the only undefeated team in college football, the number 1 seed in the entire country.
Oh, yeah.
Heisman winner, number 1 overall pick. What a moment. And you were fucking trying to think it wasn't going to happen.
Well, I mean, if that dipshit DB would have just pushed him out the back of the end zone.
He tried. He tried.
What the hell are we doing here? There was a play in an NFL game this week where I saw it, and I FaceTimed my dad. My dad's like, if only that Penn State guy would have done that.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah.
Always going to think about that.
Of
Terry
course.
Smith could have had a couple more wins.
Yeah, and they might be playing in the Xbox Bowl.
Or the Mayo Bowl.
Sure.
Either of these bowls.
Hey, they're playing in a bowl game.
What?
Penn State?
Penn State's in the Pinstripe Bowl versus
playing
Clemson.
at Yankee Stadium.
How many wins you guys have?
6-6.
Wow, you guys got bowl eligible.
Yeah, Terry
What a
Smith brought him
joke.
back 3 in a row at the end.
Is Matt Campbell coaching that, or who is Terry coaching it?
Terry's coaching.
As you should. Send him out.
And he's remaining on staff. Highest paid assistant, college football. That's a non-coordinator.
Congratulations, Terry. Earned it. Western Pennsylvania
Smart
legend.
man.
Should have opted out of
Got
that.
the boys together. What's that?
They should have opted out of that one.
The Pinstripe Bowl?
Yeah.
He's to play in the outfield at Yankee Stadium, dude.
Exactly.
Fucking Babe Ruth.
Exactly. It's Penn State we're talking about.
Yeah, Babe Ruth, fucking
Jeez
Mickey
Louise.
Mantle.
They played in that stadium?
The Pinstripe Bowl heard that Penn State was playing. They heard that they were playing, and they were just thanking to God. The conversations behind it were like, no way Penn State accepts this, right? No way.
Well, Clemson, too. Think of that storyline. Those were 2 top 5 preseason teams.
Penn State's going to sell out that stadium, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. The Pinstripe Bowl is like,
Thank God.
tell Penn State it's a good idea. Tell them it's a good idea. Because their natural instinct is going to be, no, we're not going to play in this Pinstripe Bowl. So you got to go in there and tell them it's good, it's good, it's good. But really, for us, this is our only option to sell this fucker out. Last year, we had 15% occupancy in this fucking thing. It was the most empty the Yankee Stadium has ever been. So if we can somehow get Penn State to think it's a good idea, that would be great for our business. Somebody went in there and was like, one more game for Terry Smith.
That's it. They
He
did
earned
it.
And you guys are going to fill that place up.
Yeah, I think 9 of our guys have already opted out of the game, though.
Yeah, but
So-
Penn State people will fill this fucker up.
For sure.
Because that is literally, and the amount of Penn State people in New York, I assume.
Yeah, that's 80% of our demographic.
Oh, good for the Pinstripe Bowl. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's good business. We need whoever's running a Pinstripe Bowl that was able to talk Penn State into doing this. That person needs to be doing more in the conversation of making things happen. Now, you were talking about who played in that stadium, who didn't play in that stadium.
Yeah.
The great Bambino, right?
None of those guys played in that. New Yankee Stadium is fairly new, so there really isn't any of the rich history tradition that I was referring to, which is probably why every single year the Pinstripe Bowl is like, all right, let's just fucking get Rutgers in here. They're 6-6. We got enough people close enough in Piscataway. Maybe you can't come to Yankee Stadium in the summer. They won't come see you in the winter, so that'll work. So I would agree. I'm sure they are absolutely thrilled.
And it was probably the president. Allegedly, the president he knows what she's doing up in Penn State. She was probably the one that said, you know what? I know where we should play because I know where everyone will come.
New York.
Pinstripe Bowl. New York
I do wonder if they negotiated a percentage of the ticketing sales. Like, hey, we get a percentage of the ticket sales, though, because we're going to fill your Pinstripe Bowl up. So congratulations to you guys. There's a chance that that's happening. Good business up there at Penn State. A lot of good business.
Matt Rule. He won it last year.
Let's check in with Matt Rule later.
Beat Boston. We just saw him. He's out the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Might be rolling around.
Yeah.
We got a wrap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his Jeep.
Yeah.
Clean.
Four-wheeler or
Like
whatever.
a side-by-side.
Yeah,
Golf cart.
On Rules Haas.
It's not a golf cart.
It's definitely not a golf cart, Fox.
That was a golf cart.
It's a UTV.
One of one.
Utility.
Ultra.
Terrain.
Vehicle. Not an ATV. Side-by-side, I would call it.
Four-wheeler?
No, that's a four-wheeler.
Like a Can-Am.
Side-by-side. Yeah, like a Can-Am type.
So where we come from, quad.
Yeah.
It's quad. Some people
That's
call
true.
that a four-wheeler, though.
I call that a four-wheeler. That's what I call a four-wheeler.
Okay, so you guys call that a four-wheeler. We call it quad. Side-by-side is the two-seater with the trailer in the back.
Truck bed.
And it's got
Yeah,
the
little
top.
truck bed.
What do you call I call it a four-wheeler, the one that's like a little outdoor car. There's two seats in the back, two in the front. It's like a little buggy-looking thing, but it's awesome. What do you call it?
Is that like a Can-Am type dune buggy situation you're thinking?
Yeah, like a souped-up. It would not. This is a golf cart in my eyes, but like.
Let me see.
I was used to call it a Gator because that was like the John Deere
Yeah, I
brand
thought-
of it.
So the Gator,
original.
for me, the Gator is the
truck,
the back thing. Can you
So
pull up?
You're saying doesn't have a bed behind it at all.
Yes, yeah, I'm saying the seats are in that
Right.
instead. So it's a this. Yeah, I
That's just
would
a
call this.
four-seater.
I would call this one for rule of side by side person because it's a two-seater with
Me
a truck bed in the back. Basically, is what this one is. Once they get to it. Oh my God,
Yeah, you got a ways to go here.
Good promo.
Yeah, this is an awesome all-terrain vehicle in my eyes. This is an incredible usage around if you have any property. Okay, so that's the one. That's side-by-side. I call that one a side-by-side as well. Four-wheeler is the one that the little car. It's like forget it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. See, I thought like those.
I'd call that a
A Polaris Razor. Is like
Razor, like a Razor, yes, like one of those.
Yeah.
That's what you're calling it, like the little mini car thing. That
Yeah,
yeah, I
four-wheeler.
agree.
But they call these four-wheelers, which are quads.
Yeah, I
which
call that quad,
love
too.
quads.
Me too.
I love quads. I'm a big quad guy.
We say all the same stuff because it's Pittsburgh. We were talking about that.
Yeah, but we learned we're wrong, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
I think they're wrong.
everybody else is
That's
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
Vernacular.
Have you heard about Kennywood's upgrade? Did you see what I posted?
I mean, that roller coaster is not Kennywood, first of all. That thing's unbelievable.
Yeah, they put it in a dome like they did down there in Disney World.
That's at Kennywood?
They're building it right
Zero
now.
chance.
That's a two-seater Razor. Yeah, this would be a two-seater Razor. I would call this four-wheeler as well, but there's four-seaters of these.
That's more of like a dune buggy sport type thing. Matt Rule's thing's not exactly a work thing. I have a side-by-side with a snowplow that I recently got, and I've been dominating the snow recently. In the last, we've had two different snows where I've plowed 4 or 5 different driveways.
You got to put sandbags in the back of that thing, though, to give you a little bit more weight on the wheels there to keep that
I probably should, but it's enough heavy duty right now that I haven't had to put anything in the back.
These bad boys right there, these things, wide ass open, good times.
Those are fast.
These are dangerous. Me and Nick almost died in one of these in the woods of Indiana. Almost died. Almost flipped that thing pretty quickly.
You got it, though.
Saved it. Beer. Saved. Shouldn't be doing it, by the way. Should not be doing any of the things that we were doing. 0 seatbelts, flying through woods. Wide open. We're turning to the left around a tree. Okay, got it. No problem. Been in this thing. Maybe we even do a little fishtail on this thing. Maybe a little bit of drift. Very comfortable with car. Very comfortable with this thing. Had been driving it a pretty good amount. And I think we were... I'd say pretty tuned up at the time.
Had a couple pops.
So pretty comfortable and confident in basically anything at the time, which is part of the problem. I'm not saying others should do this ever. You shouldn't. We go around there and then we catch a groove, and then that thing goes up on 2 wheels. Oh, no. We work that thing back. Okay, now we're going back the other way. Now we're up on 2 wheels the other way. Now I put leg out. Okay, I'm going to
Stabilizing force.
I'm going to save us. I'm going to save us in this thing.
Pretty much the only thing we couldn't afford to lose in that moment
Was legs.
Uh-huh.
Legs out in this thing because it gets up on this wheel. Cut it back. We get back onto all four wheels and we stop. And we look at each other, pretty big hole, boy. No seatbelts, either of us. They certainly have full rigs that you're supposed to have on. And there was crew of great hill jacks, I'll say. Great people.
Indiana boys.
Yeah, Indiana boys. They were Indiana boys we were with out there. And they just looked at it like, wow. One of those. And then it was an immediate beer. We're right back into it. And then we're supposed to just keep going as if that didn't happen. And we did, I would say. We had to power along to showcase for Western Pennsylvania. But those things are awesome. Those are the coolest things in the woods, if you can get those. Because it does feel as if you're untouchable in those, but you're not. Know that you can die easily.
Some of them have the full cage where, like, you can roll and just boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. This had full cage. This had full cage.
Oh, nice.
We had no seatbelt on.
Yeah.
So that almost makes it worse because now you're
bounce around the cage.
Breaking your neck.
now you're in the entire. It was a bad idea. We immediately, this one right here, yep, I think we need to, and I'm gonna stop doing that.
Shut the beer down real quick.
Let's go ahead and let's get through this the rest of the day. I was quite a buzzkill going forward. I like the way the outdoors people live, though. Like those quads, this thing should go 70, 80, 90 miles an hour.
Best.
It's like, holy fuck. Then you get some of these ingenuitive Southerns, outdoors, I don't know what to call them. Obviously, break off the governor. We're not going to do that. But then the way they're able to soup these things up to go speeds that there's no way the frame of these things is supposed to go. The center of gravity is nowhere near low enough for the car to be, or whatever, to be going that fast. And then the sound of it is just wide ass open. It's like, you guys have a good time out here. Jesus fucking Christ.
Souping it up is actually a big part of the hobby to them, I think. They like doing that more than riding it almost.
Yeah, then cleaning it afterwards and then fixing it afterwards. It's a whole part of the process. It's a wind down. There's some music. It's a whole thing, yeah. We need to start doing that. We should do that. We live in Indiana. We can do that. We need to do that for Bluey anyways. That's the only way we're going to be able to get that fucker tired. We're going to have to be on quads running him in circles. We're going to have to tag in and out, just doing laps around this place. You think you'll be able to take care of Blue maybe whenever you come out here at AQ?
Sure.
Are you a dog person?
I was a dog person.
Now you're full cats.
Full cat. 2 cats. It's great.
Dan Orlovsky said he hates cats, didn't he?
He did say that.
Dan Orlovsky
Makes
sucks.
sense.
I mean, the cats are the coolest thing on earth. You can't say you hate cats if you've never had cats.
Coolest on earth.
Would you agree?
I like cats.
Sneaky.
I'm not going to get into
Coolest on earth is a little much.
I'm gonna say that we got to tell Orlovsky that you just said that he.
Yeah, please.
Dogs obviously man's best.
I mean, they're
emphatically
gonna beat your fucking ass.
They're 0.06% DNA away from a lion. I mean, what are we talking about here, people?
Yeah, I agree. Hey, living room lion, bro. It's a real deal.
0.06. You're a big stats guy now.
Well,
Analytics,
I watched exactly what he just said. Lion in my living room documentary on Netflix a couple years ago.
And showcases how they can land on their feet all the time and how athletic they are and how agile are. Orlovsky doesn't want to hear it. He's done with your shit. All right, let's wrap up this glorious Wednesday by learning about the defensive side of the ball. It's always such a magical thing to be able to hear what's good and what's bad in Good D, Bad D, presented by Everything DB and Darius Butler.
We'll start in Chicago, and they've been on here a ton, leading the NFL in interceptions. CJ GJ has had some good games. He had a rough game against the Packers, but he's had some good games outside of that. This is great disguise against the rookie Shador Sanders. If you start running back from the beginning, Foxy, starting on the line of scrimmage, showing middle close, and going to get to a cover 3 deep, 4 underneath. He is the flat defender. And when you start up on the line of scrimmage with this disguise, it is very important that you get width just as much as you get your depth, because that width actually becomes your depth. So you'll see him as he gets wider. He continues to climb against Fanning, Jr., the tight end here. Climbs, fools the quarterback, jumps up, high points the ball. Great job by CJ GJ. Veteran play, fooling the rookie quarterback.
I love the fact that the Chicago Bears are being celebrated on in the trenches and Everything DB every week.
Yep.
If you want to win, these are 2 places you would like to be showcased at. And Ben Johnson, once again, has been able to establish this as just a normal thing for this Bears team.
Yeah.
When this has not been normal for the course of their entire existence.
Long time. I mean, we saw them in the Super Bowl, was that 06, and kind of since then they haven't been a great team. But when they were in the Super Bowl, they had a great defense. So you got a defense that's feasting on turnovers, and their best linebackers getting healthy, so he'll be activated soon with Edmonds. But their DBs have been great. Byard, we see him on here a bunch. Wright, Jalen Johnson, he had an interception as well. He's finding his form. So yeah, they're hitting on all the cylinders. And if you're in Chicago, if you're in this division, you want to be able to run the football, obviously, and you want to be able to take the football away. That's always a great recipe for success.
Stealing possessions is good news.
Huge,
the weather's going to get bad. How can you do? Wait a minute. Let's see another good D, it looks like, from Everything DB.
Hell yeah, this is what you kind of visualized, I believe, last Friday with the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Patrick Surtain. And right here is quarters coverage. Now, there were some opportunities for the Rams to be on here, but they gave up a couple touchdowns against the Lions, both in quarters coverage, both with a post. And the reason you see that route against quarters coverage, you'll see right here with the leverage. We talk about leverage a lot. Patrick Surtain is going to be outside leverage against the post. Pause it here. So quarters coverage, the safety, he's reading number 2. So you run it back to the beginning. His number 2 blocks. And when your tight end blocks, that kind of sits you down. You become a part of the run fit, right? Because if they do run this ball, he has a gap. He's kind of that half man in the box. When they don't run, when it's the play action, now as that safety, it's your responsibility to be underneath that number 1 receiver. You should take away the curl. You should be underneath the curl route, underneath the dig route, and then you'll be underneath the post route as well. So the corner, you're going to be outside and over the top, and then in a perfect world, you'll be able to undercut and make this play. Christian Watson, obviously a blazer, one of the fastest receivers in the league. If you let it run here, you got to have confidence. You got to have speed. You saw him just put the head down, then get back, track the ball, and go up and make a phenomenal play on the football.
This Denver Broncos team's everything on the defensive side that we thought they'd be. And how come Vance doesn't really get talked about for head coaching much?
I think he will. I think people have been around ball since that 70-point game he gave up against the Dolphins. This defense has been, obviously, with the sack numbers, they've been on a record pace. And then they got guys on the back end that can cover. Hufanga was a great signing coming over. But Surtain, obviously, his season has been kind of shortened with the injury. He set out some games. Riley Moss, he got an interception on the tip ball and the crossing route, but he's a very good cover man as well. And then the guys up front, they mix it up and they'll get after you, all game long. So there'll be a tough team to beat with Bo Nix playing how he's playing. Very similar to what Caleb Williams. Caleb probably had his best outing of the year as far as throwing the football. If they can find their footed, Bo had his best outing here on offense as well. So they're clicking on the right cylinders at the right time.
There's a chance, too, like Vance might fall into that Josh McDaniels bucket where it's like, hey, I've done the head coach thing. Like, I got the best defense in the NFL, and Sean Payton, Surtain. Yeah, you got the Waltons who can pay me as much as Sean Payton says or I want. It's like the Broncos and Patriots both might have their offensive and defensive guys kind of set for the forward and young quarterbacks. Like, hold on.
Yeah, hold on, Broncos. Hold on, Patriots. Congrats to the Broncos defense getting showcased yet again. Oh, is this good?
Another team who's been on here a ton, the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, typically they play a ton of zone coverage. I believe still in the top of the National Football League when it comes to zone coverage. Derwin James, this is Gardner Minshew now, and at this point had to try to
almost Pro Bowler
and get him down. Almost Pro Bowler, almost got us to the playoffs, and got thrown obviously at the end of the game. Want to get in a position for a field goal and tie this thing, maybe get an OT, or maybe try to go down and win it. So you got Travis Kelce matched up on Derwin James. They've seen a ton of each other year in and year out, been in that division. Just a great job of maintaining his outside leverage from the beginning. You'll see it better from the other angle. Kelce tries to give him a head fake to the inside, doesn't fall forward, keeps his leverage, looks back, makes a play on the ball to end this game. So big-time play by a big-time player. And they're playing very, very good defense. The only, I guess, weakness on their team will be the offensive line. Their defense is good enough to win a championship, I believe. And you talk about Vance Joseph, Jesse Minter will probably be in head coaching conversations as well. And then it's going to be, okay, how healthy can Herbert be down the stretch and how upright can that O-line keep him? But the defense are making plays big time week in and week out.
Incredible coverage here by Darryl.
Great coverage.
Gardner Minshew, we're already in field goal range kind of with Bucker. Now, granted, is he going to make it or not make it this year has become a question. He has a very strong leg. 20 seconds left, down 3.
Yeah.
Have a chance to be on the field and throw the ball to Travis Kelce. I'm going to do that. He did it earlier in the drive, too. I think him and Kelce had a great connection. Gardner Minshew is not scared of anything. Feels like this not necessarily ever going to be a completion because Derwin James is so damn good. But remember, Travis runs Travis Kelce routes, 43 sitting in there. They weren't going to let Travis get another rock here.
No, and this was man coverage. I believe they had a couple hold defenders in there, but man-to-man coverage, outside leverage, and this is perfect. Like, this is how you draw it up. You do drills like this. Hey, keep your outside leverage. If he runs the corner route, you make him pay, and he did.
All right, let's go to another good D with Darius J. Butler.
And this is the last one.
The
Kamari,
best D, maybe.
Yeah, the best defense in the league right now. And he is, probably a top 5 corner now. We all talk about Stingley on the other side, who's, 1 or 2 in that conversation. Bullock, he's been the best free safety this year. Petrie, we had him on maybe last week against the Chiefs when he had the big hits in the interception. Yep. Kamari Lassiter, second year out of Houston, I believe. Hard hitter. He'll show up in the run game. He'll blitz. He'll tackle. And he'll also cover. Had an interception against the Chiefs last week. And this is another interception in high red zone. Post route once again, maintaining his leverage and then making a great play on the football and a phenomenal celebration as well.
All right. And
y'all got
pretty good.
Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Man?
Yeah, there was some question marks about him a couple weeks ago. I think before the Chiefs game, had a toe injury that he had been kind of battling. And remember the comments that he made. I love hearing D'Amico Ryans talk about him and his mindset. But he was asked the question, "Hey, who would you send first off the bus from that defense?" And he was like, "Me. I'm with all the bullshit." And he absolutely is down in the down out.
That's an incredible catch. If a wide receiver makes this catch with not being able to see the ball with hands touching it, we would say that's an incredible catch.
And the casuals may not know who that receiver is, Michael Wilson, but since
he's unbelievable.
He's unreal. His numbers, his targets since Marvin Harrison Jr. has been out, he's kind of become a guy. But that's a great job. Reading your keys, keeping your leverage, and then making a great play on the football. That was his 4th interception on the year.
Great backflip, too.
Yeah. Great backflip.
Anytime.
Where they stick you to.
I think you're allowed to say that. I'm not. The anytime you do it full pads and be that clean with it, that means not only is it been done thousands of times in the past, but in the moment, didn't get too excited. Okay.
Oh, no.
Perfect balance. It's like shooting a 3. You got to have the right amount of explosion in turn. Just casual in the moment, all the way into the Spider-Man. This is phenomenal celebration.
Absolutely. You could probably see it better from the wide copy if you fast forward to the end. But I also like the awareness of him because, once again, dealing with an injury, but peeking back real quick because he spun it. Boom. Got to spun it. You peek back. Make sure it's not a cameraman, cheerleader. Boom. Stick that thing. Great camera.
That's perfect timing there.
10 out of 10. It's going to be some sick pictures somewhere online.
Well, congrats to him. It seems like there's going to be more of that coming out of the Houston Texans defense. They are so good. We're talking about them maybe winning the Super Bowl because that defense.
Best unit in the ball.
Oh, really?
Best, in my opinion, just if
Devontae not in?
Unit, best unit in football.
With Devontae not in? If Devontae's in, are you taking Los Angeles Rams offense or Houston Texans?
I'll still go to Texans defense.
They also might win the division still. There's a very big chance. They have the tiebreaker with the Jags. The Jags are at Denver, and the Texans are hosting the Raiders. So maybe the Texans win. The Jags-Broncos will be a war, but they have the tiebreaker. And the closing 3 for the Texans, relatively easy aside from at Indy the last week, but there's a chance they end up being the 3 seed, maybe even 2 seed.
And if you get that, you get a home playoff game, obviously, and everything else that comes alongside of that. It maybe even another home game, depending upon what happens below them. And if they're able to get that building going with that defense going,
we've been there.
Yes, we have. With CJ going, I think we've seen that. It's like nobody really wants them, and that's what everybody has said. Luke Kuechly said nobody really is signing up to take on the Houston Texans right now because to win games that involve points, you have to be able to score them. And the Houston Texans defense poses quite a problem when it comes to getting into end zone. They are everywhere all the time. And you talk about Lassiter as like the 3rd guy that you showcase on Everything DB. Every other guy that's been on there is because they hit. Everybody hits. They're all tough. Like all of them are hitters. All of them want to punish you. And it's like that's D'Amico Ryans to a T. Like when Shahir gets in that fight on the sideline, and then he gets suspended. D'Amico Ryans, head coach and defensive guy, comes out, and he's like, we got to watch what's going on that sideline, too. Like, our guys, like, you want to hit us, we're going to hit you. Like, he was open with the fact, like, this is who we are. That's a scary fucking team to have to play, especially in the playoffs, I think, AJ.
Yeah, I think it's contagious, too. Like, when you have a physical team like that, and you talk about running to the ball. Like, great things happen when you run to the ball. Like, they just feel like they're playing with supreme confidence, whoever is in there. I don't know, like, you have to uphold the standard, I feel like, and that D'Amico and the rest of that team is setting. yeah, like we said, it may not be fun to watch your team play the Texans, but if you are a fan of defense and a fan of physicality, this defense is who you want to watch.
Yeah, and they're finishing every hit too. Like it's like, we're
through the ground. They're finishing they're trying to take you through the ground.
Yeah, and when there's a quarterback, obviously we'll be trying to catch ourselves, but also we'll be there. Yeah, we will certainly be there every single time. Like, I don't think people fully understand that's an entire mindset. Like, hey, this is who we are as a team, and nobody's allowed out of it. Like corners, nah, you are, we are. This is who we are. Like, this is what our defense is known for. When people turn on, I bet you D'Amico, when people turn on tape and they watch our defense, all 11 guys have to showcase exactly who the fuck we are. Like, that is what it is. And you talk about a standard them already having. It's like next year, whenever somebody joins that defense or if they sign somebody, it's understood like, hey, this is what we are.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great thing to have. That is a fucking great thing to have on the defensive side in 2025, 2026.
You talk about them getting a potential home playoff game, too. Like, look at how we've been talking about Josh Allen the last several weeks and how he's unstoppable. Rewind a couple weeks ago when Buffalo went to Houston, and what they sacked Josh Allen 9 times. We're seeing him laying on the turf, kicking his legs down. Like they beat the fuck out of them, and
not just them, everybody. That's what they do,
right? But I'm saying, we're talking about the best player in the NFL who is unstoppable, and just a few weeks ago we saw them make him look very pedestrian.
All you can remember is those red jerseys.
Yeah,
just everywhere.
And then Jacksonville Jaguars. They're getting really, 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 really good really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, the AFC South starting to become the NFL's best.
Yeah, if they lose. If they lose this week, the Jags are in legit trouble as far as winning the division.
Well, they'll still get in as a wild card.
Yeah, the 7 teams are basically locked in. It's just the divisions. The divisions are basically all a toss-up. You could argue maybe not the Broncos, but like the AFC East, the AFC North, and the AFC South are all a toss-up right now.
And the Steelers can lose 2 straight games, and then if they win the last game, they still win the division.
Yeah, and that's the big thing with New England. Like, if New England wins, then they have this weekend against Baltimore. That is massive for Pittsburgh and for New England, obviously, because they get in. But that also gives them a little bit more leeway to win the division this weekend.
Oh, football's great. But there's some people that are ass. D-Butt, let's get to the bad D, shall we?
Oh, man, speaking of people and teams and defense units that are ass, they got the defensive coordinator fired after this game, Steve Wilkes. Liam Cohen has done a great job with Trevor Lawrence. I know Dan said yesterday the Texans' offense probably the most improved unit in football. This Jacksonville Jaguars has been hitting on all cylinders. You'll see ETN. He had 3 touchdowns. This is one of them right here. They're going to get to basically a 4-by-1 on the snap. So right now he's starting off to the left. Post snap, he's going to get to the route and just get the right, and then it'll just be a swing route. And now AJ knows just how tough this is on 5'6". If you run it back, just look at the traffic that 5'6" has to run through. If you pause it here, he's a linebacker just to the left if you're looking from the offensive side of the hash. And watch what 56 has to get through and try to cover ETN, who's already a speedster. So he went underneath. And you always have to make a decision as a defender. Do I go over the top? Or do I go underneath? Do I try to go to that back door? And usually when you go to that back door, you get outran, especially with a speedster. It's great for that O-line. He's 77. He just gets a hand on him, then does the save it block, just puts the ass on him, and then ETN takes care of the rest.
Jets get rid of Quinnen Williams, and we hear what the Dallas Cowboys think about him. Do we think that is potentially the devastation to the Jets' defensive side of the ball?
I mean, it was bad with him, too. This is a team, I don't know, maybe 1 interception on the entire year, I think, which is
none.
0?
0.
Like that's hard to do. That's hard to do through 5 games, let alone 15 at this point. This is all-time bad. You didn't expect this with a defensive. I didn't expect this with a defensive head coach. But don't have a bunch of the pieces and just got the shit kicked out of them. We talked about Trevor Lawrence earlier in the week having a historic day. This offense has been good, but they looked obviously great on Sunday against the Jets. Like right there, you got to get on the ground. Big play, you got to get on the ground.
I think you got to pull the ripcord. We just saw what – I mean, I'm not saying that there's like a Mike Vrabel option out there for the Jets, but like as a defensive guy with how bad they've been and just like everything, like I don't know. Maybe you own up, say we got this one wrong. We need to go back to the drawing board and we need to make sure we get it right.
And then what, AG's going back to Detroit?
Potentially.
Yeah, maybe just swap.
Maybe.
Shepard gets hired by the Jets. If they don't do it this year, they're signing up for 2 years because they have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. So if they let them pick the 2 first-round picks this year, or who knows, trade up.
Who's the GM?
What do you get?
Darren Muji.
I mean, I'm
What do you
not
look
there.
at?
I'm not there as far as pulling the cord, just because of the things that we talked about.
Woody
You
sucks.
were a seller. You sent all your best players away. You get all these picks. That looks like to us, hey, you position yourself, go get a quarterback, build for the future. So you give them an opportunity, give them a couple years to try to figure it out. It's all time right now.
I
All
agree,
time
and
fast.
I like Aaron Glenn.
Me too.
Love it.
I like Aaron Glenn. I'm an Aaron Glenn fan. I like his energy. I like his juice. I like what he did with Detroit. I got a chance to talk to him. I feel like he's a very real human being. I mean, the Aaron Rodgers fly over there and then him kick him out of the room in 3 minutes or whatever. Hilarious move. Interesting move. I don't know if that happens in football a lot in its entirety, but trying to set a tone, I think, on what he's looking for. So for it to be this ass, I think we were all kind of surprised by.
It's the Jets. It's been a shit show for a while now. It's been an offense as a defender, and I'm not making any excuse for that defense. 0 interceptions is crazy, but I think Brady Cook started that game on offense.
Did, yeah.
Easy.
They had
Osmore, they
had Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields, so they've it's been tough on offense. Can't believe let go of Alan Lazard. He's out there, maybe end up in Pittsburgh, but
MVS.
it's been tough. It's been tough. It's been a tough year.
Thielen.
Yeah.
Listen to the Pittsburgh Steelers Avengers.
Where's John Kuhn at?
Take the headset off, John.
Come on.
I don't know if they got helmets in modern day helmets that can fit that thing, but maybe just wear the Guardian cap.
Jordy's
Randall
still in
Cobb.
good shape?
Nah, Jordy's in great shape, but I don't think
Always.
Randall Cobb, though, he might be a guy who's looking to.
Good call, Jordy. Jordy's the one that needs to run my dog, because isn't he out there with the
Yeah, cattle and whatnot, ranching.
Oh, he's probably in great shape.
great shape?
Oh, yeah.
He's tackling them, jumping on them, jumping off them. Still. Softball. National champ. Isn't he some softball like champion?
He's a freak athlete. I don't know what his titles are in softball, but he can do everything.
Yeah, I think he's a softball national champion at this stage. He was at some rodeo. We saw him doing some shit at some rodeo.
Yep.
He was running the rodeo, I think, actually. He was,
Winning bell
Oh, no,
buckles.
we don't need a Jordy highlight tape. I might be on here somewhere.
yeah, well, that's what happens. Milk check, milk check. Aisle gone. See ya. 6, Jordy Nelson.
It's a monster.
I do enjoy the conversations that happen in DB rooms about Jordy Nelson all around the league. That was cool. That was cool to kind of learn about, hear about, just because of how funny it is that is the actual truth of the situation. Hey, listen, he's country fuck, okay? This guy's super nice. You have no idea what you're looking at when you're standing there. You view him, you think to yourself, we got time here. We don't have time with this one.
But when you get eyes on him, he
That's a
looks
stallion?
He looks like a thoroughbred for sure.
You get eyes on him.
You get eyes on him across the field. You're not sleeping on 8-7.
Hey, watch the film, okay? Then when we see him in real life, just
Those strides get.
understand what this thing is.
Oh yeah, weapon.
Why doesn't he go to the Steelers?
Why not?
What's Randall doing right now? Cobb.
Getting
Good
ready.
question.
Thielen, MVS, Jordy, Randall, Lazard.
Tom Crabtree, maybe he comes back out.
Donald Driver, yeah.
Yep. And Bills in the first round.
Donald Driver would be awesome.
That would be awesome, but
He can still play.
he's a Packer for life. I'm same with Jordy. We don't need to see those guys.
Jordy played for the
The
Raiders.
Steelers are the Packers of the AFC.
I know, but I think Donald Driver's also like 55. I don't want him to get hurt out there. That's a little bit older.
A little longer.
Look at Phil
too.
Rivers.
Yeah, what are you
44 is
talking
the 44 is the ceiling.
No, it's the floor.
That's what I meant. Fuck.
Who's the
So
white?
close.
Who's the white wide receiver that used to catch all the Hail Marys?
Jared Aberdairs?
There it is. Get him.
Jeff
out.
Janis.
Jeff Janis.
Janis. That's it.
Janis.
Jeff
They, they are
Janis.
literally the same guy with different names.
To 83.
He got the Cardinals.
That's right. Twice.
Yeah.
Twice. Same game.
Yeah. Remember what happened right after that?
Hail Larry.
Yeah, Rodgers threw like a 60-yard touchdown to send it into overtime. His time expired, and then on like the first play of overtime, Larry Fitzgerald caught a slant and ran like 85 yards, took it down to like the 5-yard line. The Packers lost like a play later.
On Pat P.
Oh yeah.
That's quite a
2 times in a row.
Yeah, it was quite a deflating deal.
How many? He has the most Hail Marys, right, Aaron? That's like definitely.
I
his
would
thing.
assume so.
Yeah, the Jets one. I think last year that happened in prime time with Lazard.
5 or 6
Like
of them.
broke the record. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what the number is.
And like free play touchdown.
Yeah, like-
that up.
Which you're trying to take away from his game.
I'm not.
Sack of wine.
You and Bruce Arians
No,
were
when
attacking
he
him.
gets the hard count free like those, but the pinky toe on the sideline.
Get off the field.
I mean, yeah,
come on.
hustle.
What was Bruce's take? He's anti it?
Yeah.
He was anti it as a player. So, like, some coaches teach it. Like, as a center, if you see them, like, jump across, snap it. And Bruce was never. It was always tell the guard.
He's talking about somebody running off the field, though.
Got it.
He's talking about this from the other night. There was 45-second advanced replay assist that said actually there was 12 guys on the field. They threw the flag, which Aaron was talking about. And then BA and D-Butt the next morning. Well, BA first.
Still no flag.
We knew D-Butt was not about it. Yeah, in real time, there's still no flag. Aaron's not happy. That fucker didn't get off the field is what he clearly says in the entirety. Advanced replay says, yep, he's actually right. There's 12 on the field because Troy and Joe thought maybe it was like a hold or something on MVS he didn't like, and then this, and then they replay it. So, yeah, it was we thought BA would be about it, though, because it was an offensive gift, and a quarterback has to be smart enough to see this. And also, it's a deep shot, no risk it, no biscuit type thing. It's actually a biscuit potential with no risk it in it. Mm-hmm. And instead, he was like, it's not the intent of the rule. He said it's not the intent of the rule.
Way onside. I mean, that's the other thing, too. Brady, huge in doing this. That's why I was surprised that was his philosophy, too.
Yeah. What's that? We knew Debo would hate it. We
knew
AJ would hate it.
Exactly. That was the first time I looked at Bruce and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Bruce? This is
That's
your
first
bag.
time. He's been here a long time. That's good. That's good
exactly.
news.
And that was the first time
15 weeks.
I looked at him like, Bruce, hello.
Hello, you're an offensive guy.
Wake up.
Bruce. You benefited from this probably.
Come on, man.
Well, ask Ben Roethlisberger what his thoughts were.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And his thoughts on that photo.
Let's go to Hammer. Dahn. What do you think Big Ben's thoughts are on too many men being smarter than defense? And what do you think Big Ben was looking at with Dan Marino when he had that look and Dan had that look?
7 loves catching 12 men on the field and then just hucking it deep to one of any number of wide receivers. So he's definitely for it. But he was also coached by BA, so that's weird as well. I'm with you, Connor. I don't love what BA was doing there, and I still think that Ben was just in awe of how Aaron is just spinning it.
There's a chance. Dan Marino knew it was over, literally.
Maybe that's what he saw.
Dan Marino saw Aaron throw it, and he thought to himself, the Tua era's over. Well, that's it.
Maybe he saw Tua yucking it up before the game with Jalen Ramsey.
Oh, Ben goes, guy doesn't care about his team. And Dan goes, this is fucking disgusting.
I'm fucking benching him after a game.
After a game.
Yeah.
Sound like Stanford Steve, but Pittsburgh accent, certainly similar to Baltimore one, whichever one Stanford Steve has. We appreciate you, Tone. Why don't you start heading this way, Tone? Why don't you start heading this way? D-Butt, final bad D. What?
Yeah, we haven't seen the Packers
this
on
was a
here.
bad one.
Yeah, I don't think all year long. And this is a seed from Bo Nix, talking about some quarterbacks playing their best ball at this point in the season. Bo Nix is definitely in that conversation. This is a big week, too, for the Broncos. They've been winning a lot of close games, but winning nonetheless. And a lot of people are like, all right, Packers, Broncos, this will be a big test for both teams, both quarterbacks. And he passed the test with flying colors. It was him with his college teammate, Troy Franklin. This is like a scissors route. So a corner from the number 2 receiver, and then he'll end up running like a post, and he'll sit right in this window, kind of a cover 2 type drop. And he throws it. Dan kind of talked about throwing the ball across the middle. It's about kind of where you place the ball, the pace you put on the ball, and he puts this kind of back shoulder high away from the defenders. Great ball placement, great accuracy, stepping up in the pocket, big time throw and catch.
That's just hitting a hole in the zone, right?
Yep.
I mean, that is exactly. That's
exactly
called a whole shot, I believe, and that's how you beat zone. And was Bo always able to do this in the NFL? Do we know?
Well, Sean Payton loved him. When he came on, he spoke very, very glowingly about him. It was some questions for a lot of other people. Could Bo develop and be a big time quarterback? But making plays like this on this level against this defense, because this ain't a bunch of slappies out there. These are some good defenders. Obviously, Micah got hurt this game, but big time throw against a very good defense. You got to find a hole in the zone and make the throw.
We liked Bo on the show, right? He sounded like Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
That was my takeaway, if I remember right. He everything was right. He was super competitive. Loved the quarterback position, everything like that.
QB1.
And that's why Sean Payton, as soon as he met him, was like, "This is the guy."
And I like quarterbacks that, when the moments get bigger, like they show up the best. And that's who he's been all year, whether it was a team you're supposed to blow out or a team you're supposed to lose to. Fourth quarter comes, 10 is playing his best ball. So I love that from a quarterback, young or old, but he's, kind of a young, old guy almost in the NFL, the second year starting, but he's an older fella, and he's playing his best ball.
Shuck. He talked about how old he was. You
Look
Saints
out.
care?
Hey.
The Saints care right now?
Look out for Shuck.
Dan was right. Remember, he was on good D. Threw that pick to Rasul Douglas. And we were like, damn, things you 2 picks. It had to pick 2 to Minka. And Dan, I think, tweeted that day, like, hey, I love his film. He's confident. He's this, he's that. And I think he's ran off a couple wins since.
Well, and the Saints celebrated when they drafted him in the 3rd round as if he was going to be their starter. Remember that? And everybody was like, well, if you're drafting a starter in the 3rd round, why didn't you draft him in the 1st round? What are you talking about? They're like, we like our pick.
That fucker.
Is he still down there?
Oh, yeah.
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 Shuck was fantastic today. Aggressive, moved really well, confidence high, saw the field clean. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Dano's been on it. The Dan wagon will hop on some things that are good.
Yep.
Leave it at that. It's holiday season. Great work today, boys. Thank you, D-Buck. Great week.
Thank you, brother. You too.
AQ, great work today.
You too, brother.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. AQ, anything for the team?
Yeah, big week of football ahead. Thursday, head up to the Pacific Northwest. Playoff games Friday. NFL and playoff games. Enjoy this time of year, everyone.
Hell yeah, AQ.
Hell yeah.
Well done.
Thank you, AQ. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.